into all things witchy, spooky, wonderful, come and join me as I get ready to launch my Blonde Psychic website. I have been building it for the last few weeks and I've got a few more little things I've got to add to it, but it will be up and running soon. I have a huge variety of my tarot reads on there. You can actually choose from questions you want to ask as well, and I have listed so many different genres and questions. It's amazing how much you can ask. I also have my personal decks on there, some generic decks, my trauma counseling, and I have a great little incentive with our mental health merchandise. T-shirts and jumpers. Every time you buy one, 100% of the profits will go back into offering free mental health counseling for those in need. I also have my self-help books and the books that I've published. I have crystals, spiritual jewelry I've collaborated on, tarot cards, candles, incense, essential oil, perfume. There is so much that I have put into this website. This is why it's taken me so long to build, and I still have more to go. If you're interested in becoming an ambassador for me or creating some content, link up with me. So this is a tour of my little desk that is going out into my office area because I'm going to start doing in-home consults and tarot readings. There's just some oracle decks. This, interestingly enough, is Hecate's calling poem. That can actually go out and show. There are oracle decks, there's tarot decks. These are all my personal decks. I've got to get a better storage system for them, my personal published decks. These ones here I always put together for my next speaker card because I'm doing, and the next one's about channeling with your inner child. Archangel Michael. This is my altar. Archangel Michael, Hecate. Offerings for Hecate. These are the gemstones, crystals, butterflies, a little tripod for recording. Gaia, my spirit animal, and owl. Beautiful candle and some diffuser. There's some more cards and some charms. So this will be going out into this area I'm about to show you next. So we have the incense bar, which I've got to clean. It's really filthy, but it's alright, it's added protection. Angels, some more crystals, and do what you love. Let me transition into my work area. I love Chanel, as you can tell. Little table for people to do some therapy at. I'll give you a big glimpse at it. So I've got my banners up. Excuse the stock in the corner, I've got to put that up on my website. I'm also getting a big divider to go in here to divide up my lounge room and office area, and to put some stock on as well, so people can buy stock when they come for appointments. All my leaflets, all my cards, just some beautiful scents. My banner with what I do. Also got opportunities for other psychics to join me because I'm going to create a phone hotline. There's information about my energy medicine. And this I'm most excited about. I'm going to put these up tonight. My certification of my NLP practice and energy, holistic and healing certificate. So all certified, all ready to take clients. Just got to do a few more little things and we will be ready for in-home appointments. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am the Blonde Psychic, and today I do need permission from you to actually do this reading for you. I am channeling with your inner child. Some of you may not be comfortable with what comes to light. Some of you may not even want to know about your inner child, the wounds that lie within that. Or you may not want me invading your space and reaching out to your energy and, interacting with a more vulnerable piece of yourself. So before you go ahead and watch this video, I want you to give me permission to engage with your energy. I will let you know that I will try and do it as a loving parent, because I do have 4 children myself and stepchildren as well. So I do parent from 2 different perspectives, even though I shouldn't, but I do. And I do teach emotional trauma and have educated myself in emotional trauma. I do teach counseling services. I have done the NLP coaching and the energy healing course to do the trauma work. And I have invented the emotional age, which we will also talk about in this video. So I'll channel with your inner child once you give me permission to. I will find out your emotional age, and your emotional age is actually the age at which your first trauma occurred, and it's the age you carry throughout your childhood into adult life, and that's the emotional age that you understand and act from. We will get more in depth into it into your readings, but for now I want you to know that you are in a safe space. There may be trigger warnings. I do not know what's going to come up in these readings. There may be sexual abuse, there may be emotional, physical, mental abuse. So please prepare yourself. Know that this is a warning, and you do have to give me permission to engage with your inner child. If you don't, please don't watch this video. A lot of raw, heartfelt emotions are going to come up, but it's very positive because we're taking you back to the very core, to the very essence of your childhood, of the age your first trauma occurred. Understanding your trauma and talking through it. It is a safe space. Know that you are in a safe space. Have tissues ready. Have pen and paper ready. Have a safe person next to you if you need that emotional reach or support person with you. Just know that you need to prepare yourself for this reading because it is an in-depth look at your inner child and the first trauma that you did incur. A lot of us keep this locked away deep, dark down in our soul because we don't want to relive it. But you need to relive it. You need to identify it. You need to feel it. You need to express it, accept it, and we need to deal with it in order to move on. So please, if you give me permission, stay and watch. And we will, first and foremost, channel your story. I will connect one-on-one with your inner child. Remember, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, always. Then we will be doing some tarot to delve deeper into your story. And then we will also do some charms and advice. And one of particular importance is from my inner child deck, where I'll be giving you not only my professional advice, but tarot advice on ways to heal moving forward and things you can do at home to actually continue healing. Now, you're very lucky because I'm being vulnerable myself and revealing part of my course that I charge people for. And this video is actually a part of the start of the course that I actually offer to people as part of my trauma counseling sessions. We work through their inner child trauma, explore it together, identify the feelings, and then work through ways we can actually work together to overcome and combat them. So you're very lucky to get a therapy lesson for free. This is what I'm here for, to help the world and to connect with you and help you through my audience. Now, I just wanted to share some things. So we'll jump into the piles in a second. This is a beautiful tray. I didn't even know my daughter made. My daughter Georgia made this. It's a whale with a party hat on and a little decorative plate. I didn't even know she made this. And on the back, she's written a beautiful, she's very like me, very similar to me. On the back, she's written a little saying: be encouraging and choose happiness, or be encouraging and choose happy. How beautiful is that? I didn't even know she had made that. It was hidden in a jewelry box, in a toy box. That is beautiful. I'm going to use that for today's charms. I think it's beautiful. Okay, so the choices we have today. Remember, when you're choosing piles, always choose what resonates with you first. Whatever you think, 1, 2, or 3. If it's the number, choose the number. If it's the object, pick the object. First and foremost, we have Grug the pug. And he actually farts. Does that just not make your inner child laugh? So this is Grug, number 1. He's very cute. And his lovely rolls of fat there kind of reminds me of me. Number 1, Grug. Number 2, lollies. What child doesn't like lollies? Love heart lollies? Do you resonate with the lollies? And they have beautiful sayings on them. I might read some of them. For you, epic, kiss me, say yes, real love, smile. So this may be for you, that for those of you that have actually incurred trauma as an older child or as a teen. You never know. Maybe drawn to the lollies because of that fact. And number 3 is one of these water games. You remember playing this as a kid? I'm sure you've played one of these throughout your life. This is number 3. It's called water game. So what are you drawn to? Number 1, Grug and his farting bum. Number 2, the lollies with the beautiful positive sayings. Or number 3, the water game. Whatever jumps to your mind first, that will be your reading. And remember, please prepare yourself for these readings because they may get a bit raw and emotional. Again, much love. Take care. I'll see you in your reading. Group 1, hello and welcome to your reading about your inner child story and also the revelation of your emotional age. Now again, if you didn't watch the introduction, please go ahead and watch it because you need to actually give me permission to connect with your inner child, because obviously I'm an adult, your inner child is a vulnerable child, and you as an adult control the access people have to that inner child. So if you do not give me permission to bring up or want to connect with your inner child, I will be breaching your energetic and your personal space. Remember that. And connecting raw emotions with raw, vulnerable emotions that you've maybe buried deep down inside. So please go ahead and give me permission, first and foremost. Secondly, please prepare yourself. This may be an emotional journey for you, so please have a support person, pen and paper, tissues. It may get raw and triggering, so please handle yourself appropriately. If you need to stop, pause, cry, laugh, whatever you need to do, okay? This is also going to reveal to you your emotional age. So your emotional age is a formulation I've developed in which you incurred your first traumatic event as a child. And from discovering what your first traumatic event, we look into the emotions that are expelled throughout that traumatic event, and then we try and work our way through those emotions. But interestingly enough, the emotional age at which your first trauma occurs is the age that you represent a lot and go back to as an adult, as a vulnerable child, in the state that your first traumatic event occurred. We will explain it in depth. But so let's jump into your reading. You chose Pug, the pug, Grug the pug. If you don't know it, I'm sure he's known worldwide. I'm not sure. But look at him. Look how vulnerable he is. Look at his big eyes. Look at his little beautiful rolls of fat. And I said, it reminds me of me. Look. I can relate with Greg the pug. Sometimes I fart. Everyone farts, they're human. He farts. My kids would laugh their heads off at this when they were younger. They're all old and grown now, so they don't think it's that funny. But if you chose Grug, you may have, number 1, been attracted to his cuteness because he is quite cute. So that tells me you're a heart-centered person yourself. Number 2, you may have had overweight issues as a child. So maybe you saw his rolls of fat here. And I was quite overweight as a teen, as a young pubescent teen as well. And always got made fun of that way as well. Maybe you have flatulence issues. I shouldn't laugh, but it's good to have laughter. It's good to, I'm not making fun. I'm just trying to pick about ways why you chose the beautiful Grug. He's cuddly. Maybe you're a heart-centered person and you just love to cuddle. But whatever it is, he's adorable. He's here. You are drawn to him. And let's find out if we can find out why he relates as well. Maybe you just loved, had a favorite toy or pet you cuddled as well as a child. That's why. Maybe you even had a pet dog you cuddled in real life. We're going to sit Grug right there. He's going to join us in your reading. I'm going to start with, if you didn't watch the introduction, please go and watch it. My daughter made this tray. I didn't even know she made it for a start. She's 8 when she made it. She's now 10. It is a whale having a birthday party. And look at the beautiful things she wrote on the back. Be encouraging and choose happy. Makes me want to cry. So we are going to use this for your charm reading. I want to put it that way so you can see. Alright, these are my charms. I don't use these much. I really should use them more. Full of charms. Let's get some charms out and start with your charm story, and then I'm going to do some channeled reading, connect with your inner child. I thought your inner child would really connect with the charms because they are so playful and whimsical and fun. So let's go ahead and do that first and foremost. Alright, what did we get here? I might actually bring, is that going to work? Sorry, Greg, I'm going to use you as a leaning post. Here we go, that's better. So we can focus a bit more on the charm. Okay, so in the charms, we have, what do we have in the charms? A burger, mascara wand, happiness, a tea, hook, number 5, a diamond, a mother. Oh, 2 references to happiness, so smile, and a key. So what this tells me is, as a child, you were taken care of maybe by a single mother, and she tried to make your world, maybe even a grandmother or an aunt, maybe even if you're a foster child, there was a prominent mother figure in your life, okay? She did expel to you or teach you good motherly instincts. So that means she loved you appropriately, which is very positive. I feel she herself had a very good upbringing, a very positive upbringing herself, but it wasn't all love and light. But you did have a prominent female caregiver in your upbringing. I think at the age of 5, something did happen to you in your world. Maybe your first trauma occurred at 5 years old, but we will explore that more. You were very happy as a child. Your mother figure actually loved you quite a lot and displayed quite affectionate parenting towards you. Always did activities that encouraged you to be happy, because you got reference of smile twice. So that tells me your childhood was relatively happy, more than sad. But don't get me wrong, even though that's amazing, you did have some trauma occur within your life. Again, I think your mother was very encouraging. You have diamond here. You have take care of yourself. So she taught you morals and ways to actually take care of yourself from childhood to your teenage years. So boundaries and ways to actually earn a living and build a good life for yourself. So morals were very important to her to teach you them. The key to happiness and success, she also taught you about, building a happy life, how to treat your partners appropriately. All round, she was a very, very positive role model and educator to you. I do think she was too giving though. Maybe this is where the trauma occurred. Too giving, too spoiled, too much love. There is such a thing as that. My own mother did it to me. She was so traumatized from her divorce. She poured her love into me, which is very positive, yes, but it's also endangering. There was no balance between good and bad. There was no grounding. There was no telling off. I could do no wrong, even though if I did do wrong, I was quite a good child and quite a good teen. But even if you did no wrong, I don't think there was any punishment to fit your crime. It always went to, oh, well, it happens. There's an accident. Next time, do it better. There was no severe love or punishment there. I mean, no severity for crime of punishment. I do think food was an issue for you because we have reference to a hamburger here. So I don't think you had the healthiest diet. You always probably were fed whatever you wanted. Chocolate for breakfast, snacks, lollies. I'm surprised that the lollies didn't come up for group 1, but that's okay. Remember how I said you may have been attracted to Grug's fat rolls, and I still have them, so please don't feel bad if you have them as well. But there may have been issues with weight as a child. And again, that's indicated twice here from the food, the hamburger that came out. Anything else? Your life did turn around though. It wasn't always bad. There was only, a little bit of trauma that happened in the sense of being overloved and not eating a healthy diet. They were traumatic to you though, because even though your mother figure was installing good ethical and boundaries and happiness skills, like all the major skills you need to be a happy person in life, when it comes to pleasing you, she actually went overboard. Spoiled with love. Gave you whatever you wanted to eat. Things like that. So that's the charms. I am going to leave them out. We will put them to the side for now though. So let's see if all that ties in for you, and let's start channeling with your inner child. Please give me permission to connect with your inner child, to channel your story of what needs to be told. We want to connect with your inner child. I want you to know that I am a qualified energy healer. I am a qualified psychic empath. I do have the experience of having my own children, and I have educated myself in being able to do this work in order to connect with you appropriately. Please give me permission now. Archangel Michael, please watch over us and do not let any evil or trickster forces intervene with our channeled session. Please keep the area safe with light and love. Amen. I am 5 years old. What am I doing here? I don't understand why I'm here talking to you. You're a stranger. Why'd you bring me here? Hello, how are you? I am Donna. Oh, you're laughing at. You think that's funny. This is Grug. Can you say hello to Grug? Grug is here. He wanted to meet you. He heard that you liked cuddling him at night, or you had a dog that you like to cuddle, or a bear, or any stuffed animal you like to cuddle with at night. Would you like to hold Grug? He farts. Why does he fart? That's so funny. My mum would like this. I'm going to ask her if I can get a dog like this. It farts a lot. He's very cute. I think we had a dog like this when I was little, but he died, and I don't think we're allowed to get another dog. Was that traumatic to you at the time when the dog died? No, not really, because I was only a baby, or really little. Even though I'm still really little, I don't really remember him. He was Mum's dog. So does your mother take care of you? She does. She's a very good mum. Do you like Grug? I do like Grug. seem a bit nervous. Are you okay? I'm okay. What did you do today? Mummy took me to the park and we had some friends there and I played in the sandpit and then went home. I actually had McDonald's and I played with my cars. My sister played with the Barbies. That's it. Did you have fun doing that today? I did. Do you have a name we can call you by? My nickname. You can know my nickname. What's your nickname? Spud. Your nickname's Spud? Yeah. He's very cute. Can I keep him? You can play with him for this time we have together, Spud. Is that your real name? Not really, but that's what I like to call myself. That's what people call me because I look like a little potato. Do you kind of look like Rug? Kind of. I do have a little bit of chubby belly. My mum says I'll grow into that. It's pretty funny and she jiggles my belly like this. That's very cute. What else do you do for fun, Spud? Spend lots of time with Mum and my sister and not much really. Go to school. I only just started school. Don't really like people at school. They're pretty mean to me. What do they do? How are they mean to you? They say that I look like a potato and I'm really chubby and I should go to Jenny Craig and lose weight. I don't even know what Jenny Craig is. They say that though. So you think that they think that you're a bit chubby? Yeah. How does that make you feel? Sometimes it makes me cry. Sometimes it makes me worry. And I just play by myself most of the time and just sit in the corner with my cars. I don't really play with the other kids that much. Do you have any friends at school? Yeah, I have one, maybe two friends I talk to, but I don't really play with them. Sometimes we play cars. Don't really do much. So you pretty much stick to yourself at school. Do you feel like they're good friends? Sometimes. We like cars. That's good that you have a common interest in cars. Yeah. I want to work with cars when I'm older. I like cars. Well, that's good that you want to work with cars when you're older. That's very positive. Yeah. Kind of. I like him how he farts. It's really funny. It is quite funny, isn't it? Can you tell me what you like to watch on TV? I like to watch Scooby-Doo, Spider-Man, car shows. I used to watch car shows with my dad, but I was little then. I was only little, and he's gone now. Your dad's gone? Where did he go? He got a new girlfriend and left. Do you still see your dad? Nah. Do you remember doing anything fun with your dad? Did you have any special interest or anything you used to enjoy with your dad? Nah. Dad was always at work and sometimes he watched TV with me. He never played cars or anything. Mum played cars with me. My sister played cars with me. And that's it. Do you miss your dad? He was really mean. He used to yell all the time and fight with Mum, and not really, because I never really saw him, so I didn't really know him. That must be hard. must be hard not having your dad around. Not really. I get over it. You get over it? What do you mean by that? I don't really think about it. Can you remember when your dad left? It wasn't long ago. I was about 4. I just turned 5, I think. Okay, you're very smart and good at remembering things. I'm very proud of you for actually letting me talk to you today. 14:14 could be relevant for you on the clock, guys. See how I can actually interact with Spud and, set up a comfortable level with him by getting to know him first and foremost. And that allows me to delve deeper and get to the heart of the problem, the root of the problem, and find out what trauma he's occurred. And from that trauma, we can actually make a timeline and go back and revisit the moments one by one. And that's what I do in my counseling work. Get a timeline of trauma that's happened and then go back when you feel ready and able and explore those traumatic events one by one. So far you're 4 or 5, and you do have some bullying happening because of your weight. Remember, you could be male or female. Just because I'm channeling with a 5-year-old male, could be representing a lot of you. And just because it's a male doesn't mean it's not you as well. You could be a feminine with the same similar attributes. Okay, so take it as it resonates. Just what I'm saying as it resonates. 4 or 5, bullied about your weight, doesn't understand the concept of weight and Jenny Craig and the bullies that are happening. Isolate yourself at school because of the bullying. Can't really identify healthy relationships within the dynamics at school. Chooses to isolate rather than interact with friends. Father left for another woman. Was always fighting with the mother. Didn't set healthy boundaries. Didn't spend time with the child, and didn't let the child know that they were loved and wanted and cared for. So didn't parent them emotionally and physically. Didn't meet their needs at all. Just thought about themselves and took off. And that's where we're up to. So there's quite a lot of trauma so far. And you may not think that these affect you as an adult, but they do. Not being properly nurtured and taken care of as a child, not having your needs met, not understanding why your child's responding emotionally the way they are. That all comes from the way we are parented. And if your parents themselves were brought up in trauma and didn't educate themselves to understand why their behavior is the way it is, why their trauma affects them the way it does, and how to respond properly to your emotional needs, then that impacts you too. Everything impacts you. So I'm going to see if there's anything else before we let Spud go. And I'm going to continue a story with tarot and some advice, but it is quite a beautiful story so far. Spud, are you still with us? Yeah, I was just listening to you to talk, and I didn't really understand what you said. I don't know, I just listened. I'm good at listening. I'm good at being quiet. Because I'm really good at being quiet and listening, and Mum says shh all the time. Shh, don't talk. Shh. Have to be quiet. Shh, because sometimes I talk lots and lots. Shh. That's not good. Do you feel upset when she tells you to be quiet? Yes, makes me sad. Because I like to talk to her because she loves me lots, but sometimes she's sad and she cries and won't let me talk. Just shh. All the time crying about Dad. Shh. Don't talk. Shh. Okay, let's talk about something that makes you happy. What do you like doing? Do you like going out anywhere? I don't really go anywhere. Mum's too sad. There's never enough money. But she does buy me lots of cars. She buys me McDonald's a lot. not what we want. She tries to make us happy. She plays with us, but then she's sad alone, cries in her room, and just cries and cries to her pillow. I'm sorry you feel that way. I try and make her better by talking, but she doesn't like me talking. Okay, so what things does make you happy? My cars. Do you have a pet like this? I think my cars more a favourite to me because I play with them. Sometimes I do sleep with my cars. I fall asleep playing with them. They're all over my bed. But I do like this grug. Can I have him? You can play with him. Okay. Do you wanna look through the little symbols I got for you? What can you tell me about this person? That's my mum. Did your mum look like this? Yeah, and it looks like my auntie too. Hey, she bends. Yeah, it's a Lego lady. This was my son's. You got a kid too? Yeah, but he's grown now. He's 19. He's a big person now, but he still acts like a little boy. How come? Because he has a lot that he's gone through as well. And at the time, I didn't know how to be a good parent because I was young myself and having a baby, and there's lots more to it, but we can help him now, can't we? Yeah. I like how her arms go up like that. She looks like my mum. Well, that's good. And your auntie, does she help out much? Not really. She takes mum shopping. And do you go shopping as well? Nah, I stay home with my sister. Who's your sister? Layla. But we call her Lay. How old is she? She's 15. Does she look after you a lot? Sometimes her mum cries. She says I talk too much too. So I just stay by myself. But sometimes they're good. They make me happy and laugh and play cars. But I like cars a lot. That's good. So you're happy a lot of the time? Most of the time. Cars make me happy. Does anything else make you happy? When mum plays cards with me, when I watch TV with dad. Hey, this is a pin. Yes, it's a pin. It can go on your clothes like this. You can stick it in your clothes, see? And wear it like that as a pin. That's cool. Because you're happy a lot of the time, aren't you? Yeah. What do you do when you're sad? Usually just quiet. And just play with my cars. Really like your cars, huh? I didn't have a car today. I wanted to bring a car here, but I didn't have a car. That's okay, you got some cool things. And I like the dog that farts. What do you think about this? It's a key. It's a blue key. It's like the blue whale. The blue whale's in Peter Pan's story, I think. No, it's in Pinocchio's story. It gets eaten by the whale. Who read you that story? They read it at school. My teacher read it. I remember the blue whale, like the blue key. Maybe that's the key to get out of the whale and turn it and again to get out of the whale's mouth. You're very intelligent, aren't you? What does that mean? That's a big word. You're very clever. I am clever. Very clever. Sometimes I go on spy missions and I can hide my cars and then I pretend they got stolen because Dad's car got stolen once and the police came over and I pretend that happened to my cars and then I get a thief and I say, you're in jail, you're in trouble, buddy. And you go to jail. Did that happen to someone in your family? No. But the person who took Dad's car went to jail. How do you feel about Dad's car getting stolen and going to jail? The person going to jail? Don't know. He's the bad man and he shouldn't have taken Dad's car. Yes, so it's good that the police helped and got the bad man and punished him for his crimes. And put the man in jail. Yeah. So, what can you tell me about this symbol? It's hamburger. It's just like McDonald's. What do you get from McDonald's? Usually cheeseburger, no pickle. Don't like pickles. I get mustard on it and chips, and I like to get lemonade, but Mum sometimes get me Coke, and I don't like Coke because she forgets I like lemonade, and she's sad, and it's really annoying. So my sister ends up drinking the Coke, and I don't have a drink, and I'm really thirsty. That's no good. Maybe you have to remind your mum before she gets you McDonald's, and just say, "Excuse me, Mum, I need to get lemonade and not Coke." Yeah, I'll do that next time. I'll try it. I always try to make her laugh and smile. That's pretty. That's a little diamond. Do you like it? Yeah, it's very shiny. It looks like a diamond. You can put it in a ring. Look. Look like your ring. Look. It is like my ring. You're very clever. Yeah, it's shiny. It's kind of like the sun. Like this. Sun, shiny. Very bright. So you're 5 years old, Spud? Yeah. This looks like a hook. A hook that, on a car racing track, and it goes around and around like that, and then around the corner. That's what that looks like. Very clever. Is there anything else you want to say to me before I move on with your reading, Spud? Nah. I like your charms. They're pretty cool. I'm just going to sit over here and play with them while you keep talking. Because I'm used to being quiet and shh. That's okay. You can sit there and play with them. I'll let you. Whew. So, a very clever, intelligent little child you were. Can you see all the points that we have identified? There was quite a lot of trauma. Even though it was just general chit-chat, there was a lot of trauma indeed that we uncovered. So, I should have written this down myself. Let me see. 4 or 5 year old. That's the key point here. 4 or 5 years old. Father leaving. Father didn't show emotional love. Abandonment wounds from the father leaving. Did enjoy the rare occasion where the father did interact with the child, and that was the memory that he turns back to for comfort, because that was the only kind of comfort he got from his father. Mother being sad as a result of father leaving, constantly crying, but when she felt okay, she was able to bring that happiness out in the child and parent authentically and make sure the child's needs were met. But child was shushed a lot and told to be quiet because the mother was too sad to cope. Also the bullying issues at school of being overweight and not understanding it. Isolation from being shushed and father leaving and mother being sad, so would have felt very alone. Older sibling, didn't really interact, had to be looked after by the older sibling, so was alone a lot of the times as well, but was okay being alone because you found comfort in the things that you loved. Okay, so there's a lot of trauma there, even though you may think back and look at it as, oh, is that traumatic? Is that the way I am now? It is your emotional age. So your emotional age is that of a 4 and 5 year old. So in your teenage and adult life, you may have daddy issues. You may seek out the form of love in a way because you didn't have the father role model there. That's what I'm getting at. So you may try and seek love in the form of other males, maybe older males, maybe not even love, maybe friendship. Maybe you want to form healthy or trying to find healthy attachments to male figures in your life. And you've done this your whole life and they have been toxic because you don't You haven't been shown a healthy male attachment within your life. You may find it quite easy to attach with other females because you were brought up in a predominantly female household and that of a mother, but you may have emotional gaps when it comes to bonding with your mother. Maybe you say you love them, but you don't really mean it, or you love them and you don't really feel like the emotional connection there. It's just like an empty hug or an empty kiss goodbye. And that was because you were shushed so much as a child and you were told to be quiet and not seen. So your feelings weren't acknowledged properly, appropriately as a child. Your loneliness and you, resulting in you going into yourself and being alone, retreating and being alone and finding comfort in the things that you found, the materialistic items you had, is actually very important to you, and you will still be doing this in your adult life. You have an emotional reaction age of a 4 or 5-year-old. So when someone hurts you in a connection, you go inside, you leave. You'd rather be alone and find comfort with whatever object you find comfort in. You retreat, you retract. Some of you may manipulate the situation, and it doesn't just have to be relationships. It could be work relationships, it could be friendships, it could be simple everyday decisions you struggle with because you weren't shown the love and care and emotion that you needed as a child. You did get it somewhat from one parent, so you do have some range of emotional intelligence there when it comes to love, but you weren't role modeled, especially the father figure. So when it comes to strong connections with a male figure, you're going to really struggle there. And if someone cheats on you or hurts you emotionally, physically, mentally, you're just going to disappear within yourself. Some of you may even just not even talk to the person again, even if you're in love with them or, obsessive compulsive with them. You may not know how. It's because you don't know how to. You do not know how to speak with them, and you haven't developed that emotional maturity to remember, because you're acting like a 4 or 5-year-old throughout your whole life because you don't know no better. You weren't role modeled the emotional range to actually handle your emotions. Whatever we learn as a child is what we bring into our teenage and adult lives. And you, my dear, are acting like a 4 or 5-year-old. When it comes to eating and your weight, you may have a problem with food. It may be as extreme as an eating disorder, bulimic, anorexic, not eating. Or it may be you find comfort in food because you were given all the food you wanted as a child and you don't know what a healthy diet is, and you are still overweight and you don't have a healthy relationship with food even. And you resort back to what you know because maybe some of you don't even know how to cook. It's as extreme as that. And you just buy takeaway constantly every night and you eat snack foods and you don't have the healthiest diets. May turn into physical diseases as well, such as diabetes. Maybe worse. Heart disease, cholesterol levels, things like this. You also don't have a lot of friends. You'd rather be alone with your own things. I think your home is your bubble and your shrine because it's the place that you seek comfort and where you feel the most safe. Because as a child, again, being isolated, alone, being told to shh, and being told to be seen and not heard, or not even seen in this instance, is what you still retract to and what you're used to now. So, my dears, I hope I have identified some things for you. I hope you have written them down, and you can find. Now we're going to look at tarot and some extra advice. Pug, you go sit over there with your charms. And we're going to look at your advice section and see if the tarot has anything else that they want to add to your story and ways you can cope at home to help successfully heal this and deal with it, okay? Look at this cheeky little bugger. That might even be you, Spud. The blonde, this is the Rude deck. So let's go ahead and get a card from this to see if we can add to your story. This is my Rude deck. This is standing out. You got 2. I'm smiling, that alone should scare you. It's okay if you don't like me, not everyone has good taste. I'm smiling, that alone should scare you. It's okay if you don't like me, not everyone has good taste. This tells me that you have an ego about you. Within your adult life, you haven't faced your traumas, that's your childhood traumas especially. And now you've got this air and grace about you that you think you're entitled. You think you're reverting back to the good times only. The times that your mother gave you that McDonald's, the times that your mother spoiled you. You're reverting back to them. And now you have so you're taking those happy aspects from your childhood and not remembering the trauma or facing the trauma. And now you've got an ego. You put on a front, a tough front as well. Not to everybody. You still do have those traumatic traits that you resort back to. But to some people, you actually put on this persona, and it is a persona. It's an ego. It's your masculine leading to protect you so they don't see your vulnerability. You put on an ego. I'm so great. I'm going to just bully you like I was bullied as a child. You don't like me? I'm smiling. I'm giving you shit. Fuck off out of my world. This is not a healthy place to be in. Your vulnerability needs to be faced. Your vulnerability needs to be shown. You're not going to have a healthy connection in life or be able to have healthy relationships if you lead with this egotistical masculine energy. It's not going to do you any favors within your life. So you really need to work on your egotistical representation of yourself. Let's check your energy. This is good. See, it's showing me sides of you that you are hiding. Financial constraints, yin and yang, the temple path, strategy. Boy, oh boy, boy. This is telling me there are financial constraints in your world and it does stress you out. Some of you are so traumatized from your childhood and you don't know how to have healthy relationships with money either, because you weren't shown how to have a healthy relationship with money. Finances need to be looked at. You may even have to do some investment in how to handle your money appropriately, how to save, it's maybe even looking up on YouTube, doing a course, maybe seeing a financial planner, maybe seeing someone who can help you with your budget. Because I feel like you're just getting money in and it's going out on shit and you're just wasting it. So financial constraints are here in your financial life because you don't have a healthy relationship with it. Yin and yang is here. Your desire to meet your other half is here. And also your desire to have a balanced masculine and feminine energy is also here. It tells me you do crave a soul partner, you want to get better, and you want to bring balance within your life, even though you're representing with this egotistical masculine, that you do want to change your life and you do want a better understanding of your trauma that stems all the way back to your 4 or 5-year-old that we talked with earlier, and change your life. And this is very positive, these last 2 cards, the temple path and strategy. You are delving into your spirituality a bit more. You are wanting to shed this egotistical person. You are wanting to delve in head first and face those fears, those of your traumatic childhood. This is very positive. You're now wanting to build better financial relationships with yourself. You're now wanting to call in your other half, but you know you have to do work on yourself and balance your masculine and feminine energy first and foremost. You've got to get right with yourself first. And you're now making a strategy, a plan, and doing research and writing down things you need to address in order to achieve the life that you want to be living. Very positive. I'm very proud of you. Actually, I want to go into archetypes next. What can we tell you about your archetype, your personality traits, even though I think we already know? The Forest. I'm going to get 2 more. whoa, did you see that? They all wanted to come out then. That's too many. 2, the sword. 3, the creator. Yeah. This is you. Remember, in the tarot, the sword is mental clarity. So I'm going to relate it to that, okay? You want to transition from dark to light. You're ready to face these demons and do a lot of shadow work, and also get out in nature. Get real with yourself. You may as go as an extreme as go away for a few days and just be by yourself and connect with nature and start transforming your life. You are creating the life you want to live. You are transforming. Look at all those beautiful rainbow colors from dark to rainbow. This is how your life's going to start transforming, and it is a beautiful transformation. You've just got to take the steps to do so and initiate it within your life, and I think you definitely are doing that. Very positive here. Do you want to grab... Okay, that's your card. Observer. You're sitting back right now and you're observing, taking note of... You might even be going so far as to being this egotistical masculine, or leading with your egotistical masculine energy and thinking, you're a real asshole. I don't really like you at the moment. You're having real conversations and you really are observing your behavior you're putting out to the world. Very positive, even though you're acting as this egotistical masculine. It's very positive, the energy you're analyzing yourself with. You know you're being egotistical. You know you're leading with your masculine. You know you're doing things wrong. And you're taking note of it. And you want to change it. That is the first and foremost energy that is required to change your life. And this is the strategic energy you're in. The energy of the observer. Taking notes, writing a plan. Strength is developing. Facing these childhood inner traumas to understand why you act the way you act, why you have the emotional range, the emotional age of a 4 or 5-year-old. So positive, so good. Now, I don't think I need these tarots, but I'll pull some cards for you anyway, just because they're here. Anything else you want to add to group number 1's story? 1. I don't think there's much more. Oh, okay, there is. You're feeling left out in the cold. That's very obvious. The change that you want to make isn't happening as fast as you'd like it to make, and that's because you're not understanding the changes you need to make. But you do know that you need to let the ego have an ego death and die. And as we speak about death, so your justice is going to come, and that comes from observing, analyzing, and the willingness to want to change your life. Ego death. Death happens by letting it all go, realizing you can't be this egotistical masculine anymore. You're going to shed that skin, and you're going to delve into your beautiful feminine energy and start exploring your childhood trauma. Then, and only then, when we dive into this healing energy, will your world start to transform. You're shedding that old skin. A new you will start to emerge, and the wheel is turning. Beautiful, positive energy coming your way. Your authentic self will shine and will start shining. All right, now we're into the advice part of your reading. What can you do at home to start this healing journey? You're in the observer phase, remember. You're in the strategy phase. Now we want to get you some advice so you can start actioning your trauma and working on it at home. If you'd like to explore it with me, feel free to connect with me and do some trauma counseling healing sessions. We can connect with your inner self and write your inner child and write down the traumas that have occurred and explore all the feelings and the purging of them. Advice. What practical measures can you use at home? One more card, please. This is my inner child deck, so this is the deck that we're going to be relying on the most. Okay, so a crystal you can be working with is a boulder opal. Creating the future, bring success, purify your heart, detoxify your negative energy, and retrieve your innocence. Can that be any more spot on for you? Working on your childhood trauma. So go out and order yourself a bolder opal. Not only will it help you manifest, it will help you work and give you the energy and protection you need to actually purge those feelings. Let's see if you can screenshot that. It's very hard, I know, and I apologize, my camera's not the best, but I'll talk through them slowly again. Boulder opal. Creating the future, bringing success, purify your heart, so heart chakra, detoxify your negative energy, and retrieve your innocence. Beautiful. What else do we have? We've got quite a lot of Lenormand cards. Yes, you need to go back as far as your energy of being and find out who your energy of being is. You've got a lot of healing work to do, and my friend, and I'm sorry that you have to do this work, but you're going through the journey that I'm currently going through. So not only do you have personal trauma to heal, and you're only just starting your journey, you're being told you need to go all the way back to your energy of being, get an energy of being reading done. I can do them. Find out your lineage. That includes energy origin life, so who you stemmed from when this universe began, starseed lives and past lives. That's all a part of your energy of being chart, and also to heal that energy as well. Once you do that, you'll feel like a brand new person, trust me. What else do we have here? Wow. You're waiting to transform. Look, fairies could be important to you. You believe in fairy magic and fairy power, but your wings are waiting to grow. This is also telling me that you have an angel ancestor beside you, working with you. So you can delve into that spirit energy and find out who your ancestors are. You're very universally protected. And this transformation is waiting to happen. Look at that galactic T. So you're going to look into... So you do believe in higher sources and higher power. So that's very positive. That's galactic T. That's delving into the future and finding out about your future. Transformation. Look at that. Your soul's going to open wide, and you're going to have this huge shedding of old and bringing in the new, letting the universe in. You need to retreat and take care of yourself. Even though you're doing all this healing work and you're still shedding that ego death, it's going to be a hard, tough road ahead. And you've got a lot of work to do. Take time and comfort in the small things and do things that you enjoy in the meantime. Enjoy the sunshine. Sunflower with the moon encompassed in it. A lot is going to come up. A lot through this healing journey is going to be very hard for you. Take your time and really work through it and be kind to yourself. Remember, even through the darkest of nights, there is another day. The sun will still appear. You do have an idea of the future. This is my AI card. So you are worried about your future. You think it's going to be all doom and gloom. But it's not. But this is the fear you find yourself falling back into. Fear of doom and gloom for your own life. You can make your life whatever you want it to be. Stay focused. Eliminate the fear. Let that ego death die. Find out who you really are, who you truly are, who your true self is. The universe is still in your background. Look. He's waiting to be explored. But it's saying do the personal work first and foremost. Alright, advice. Signs that the inner child is wounded. These will be shown in low self-esteem, poor body image, mood, and emotional imbalances. Did I not tell you? Poor diet, don't know how to cook, eating snack food, still struggling with weight, mood imbalances, leading with your ego, being vulnerable with yourself and self only. Problems with boundaries, being too right or too weak, problems with eating, harming yourself, psychosexual difficulties, being false and wearing a mask, identity problems, being a rebel, a hoarder, a bully, a perennial victim, or a superachiever, intimacy problems, commitment issues, a general lack of trust in yourself and others, criminal behavior. We spoke about the police and going to jail. Excessive lying, being overly responsible for others, being fiercely competitive and a poor loser. Dependence and addictions, a lack of genuine friends, obsessive and needy behavior, fear of authority figures, being manipulative, being passive, and being aggressive. This is talking about your masculine, the masculine energy you're leading with, and the masculine energy that needs to go and have an ego death, especially, and if it already has tolerated to the next level, gone to the next level of substance abuse, of can't put boundaries in place, scared of authority figures, everything we spoke about on here. Please don't let it go to that next level. Please be smart enough to know that the way you're behaving is not your own fault. First and foremost, understanding your behavior is not your fault. Understanding it stems all the way back to your childhood trauma, and this can be fixed and addressed properly from a proper, educated point of view. Now, some of you are single and haven't had children yet and are wanting to start a family. You need to understand yourself and fix yourself emotionally, because the way you are now, you go on to have children, you can't meet their emotional needs because yours weren't met as a child. You don't know how to do that because your parents didn't meet your emotional needs as a child. You were shushed and your father wasn't even around. You do not have the emotional capacity to deal with a child's needs at this point in time because you weren't parented them yourself. So not only are you being called to really address the parts of yourself that weren't shown what they needed to be shown as a child, weren't parented for you, towards you appropriately. So you need to take the responsibility of that now. You need to have that ego death. You need to understand that your behavior is not your fault. The way you are is not your fault, and you need to shed that skin. Educate yourself with the help of a professional, and it doesn't have to be me. It can be anyone you think or feel comfortable with. But understanding your emotional age is that of a 4 or 5 year old, and maybe you have done role reversal and you are taking on the roles of the bullies that bullied you in school, because it makes you have this power trip, makes you feel good, makes you inflict the pain that you endured as a child onto somebody else. But you need to understand this is wrong, and you know it's wrong because you self-analyze all the time. You're observing your own behavior in life, remember. You are taking note that what you are doing is wrong, the way you're living is wrong. And you weren't understanding it up until now. If you're still with me and you have watched this video, you will understand it more now that it wasn't your fault. You can educate yourself and understand why you are the way you are as an adult, acting out as a child in an adult body. Alright, what does your next advice card say? They have nothing to feel guilty or ashamed about. None of what happened to you was ever your fault. You didn't deserve to be treated badly. And this is your first step in getting better, getting help. Maybe you blame yourself for your father leaving. Maybe you blame yourself for talking too much and not shhing when your mother wanted you to. You need to know that it is your parents' responsibility to take care of you, and they didn't take care of you adequately. And again, that may not be their fault because they didn't have the capabilities or skill set to actually parent you properly or adequately. But you yourself as an adult now can take responsibility for the way you act emotionally, for the way you treat others. And the first step is knowing that it's not your fault, being kind to yourself, really going back and visiting those childhood memories, identifying them, write them down, and working your way through them one by one. How do they make you feel? What emotions do they bring up in you? How do you think you can work your way through them in a positive manner? What lessons can you learn for them? And when you get to the stage of understanding and acceptance, you can actually then move on to boundary setting. What boundaries can you set within yourself to not treat people badly? What boundaries can you set within yourself to not let things like that happen again to you? Because remember, they're cycles, they're patterns. Until you understand them and eradicate them from your life, they're going to keep happening and happening over and over again. How can you change your behavior and set boundaries? Personal, physical, mental, emotional boundaries, not only with yourself but with others, to make sure these cycles stop repeating and this trauma starts getting healed once and for all. I hope this helped you, group one. It was quite a long reading. I wasn't expecting it to go for an hour, but this is your first therapy lesson for free. This is what you needed to know, and this is what I do in my trauma healing counseling sessions. Talk with you one-on-one with your inner child, identify things that need to be identified, bring up quality traits, bring up behavioral traits, and I only gave you a little bit of advice to work with, but that's what the universe wanted you to know. First and foremost, acceptance, understanding. You can handle these writing down and revisiting your traumas on your own, they're saying, but if you need the assistance of me, I'm here. Feel free to connect with me below and we can explore your journey together, okay? Be kind to yourself. You are a bit fragile still. Take it one step at a time and know that none of it was your fault. You didn't deserve to be treated the way you were, and you as an adult can take responsibility now and start changing the way you live your life in the future, okay? Because you are very universally connected and they are wanting you to go and find out your lineage, your ancestry, your energy of being. So much love. Good luck to you on your journey. Bye. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading about connecting with your inner child. If you haven't watched the introduction of this, please go ahead and watch it. But if you can't be bothered watching it, I'll give you a quick recap of what I need to tell you. Now, if you chose the lollies, by the way, that's why I'm holding lollies. Group 2. You need to give me permission first and foremost to actually have access to your inner child. It is your vulnerable state, it is your vulnerable self, and I need your permission as an adult to connect with your inner child first and foremost. We do not know what emotional story is going to come up through channeling with your inner child. And remember, this is part of my trauma course that I actually offer as a service to you guys, or to anyone in the world who wants to do it. Do it online or in person if you're in Adelaide. But you're getting your first session for free. And if I identify you as a male or female, don't even worry about the sex, okay? Just worry about the words that are coming out, the emotions that are coming out, the experiences that are coming out, because that's what you need to resonate with, okay? Because this is a huge collective that watches this, and not everyone can be pinpointed in one video, or in 3 videos in this case. Make sure you are ready for this, as we don't know what's going to come out. But know that prepare yourself with a pen and paper, tissues, a support person if needed, support object, whatever, okay? So, you chose the lollies. These are my favourite lollies, by the way, love hearts. They're English lollies. Maybe you're from English background. Maybe you've had them. If you've had them, let me know. Do you like them? And they have cute little emojis on them as well, so people could use them for love hearts for the person they love, whatever. This tells me that you are a very lovable child, and maybe you grew up, hopefully you grew up, in a very loving, stable home. But if you didn't, that's okay. These are just things that kind of pull me into the energy of the lollies. For you, epic, kiss me, say yes, real love, smile. So maybe you really enjoyed your lollies as a child and got a lot of enjoyment from eating them, from the flavors. Shared them with friends a lot, just enjoyed being rewarded with a lolly. But I do think you are heart-centered children. You did grow up in a heart-centered environment where love was really high on agenda, and being loved and being rewarded for things that you actually did were of great importance to your family, to parent you, to show you that you are loved, to show you that you are rewarded for hard work. So these are just some things I get from the lollies. And we'll put the lollies right here. We'll try and display them, but it's going to be hard because I'm going to be moving. They're there anyway, okay? Now, we're starting your reading by connecting with your inner child with the charms. I don't do my charm readings much, but they are here. We are going to read with them. My nose is itchy. When your nose is itchy as a reader quite a lot, it means you are connecting with the past. So this is really your story. This is exciting. Let's get some messages, starting with charms. Okay, what did we get here? Now I'll try and pull the camera up. It's going to be a bit hard. That's my my inner child's toy. See, Squishmallow, love it. Love sleeping with it. Love hugging it. Anyway, what did we get here? Golf tee. So again, success. Being set up for success. This goes. The ball sits on this tee, and they hit the ball off it, and they want to get a hole in one. So, being driven, success was important for you, and installed into your family values as a child. What else do we have here? The diamond. So you were treated like a precious diamond. Marbles. Tiger's eye especially. And it's a bit battered and bruised. You probably can't see it on camera, but the marble is very battered and bruised. And I don't know why. But it is the tiger's eye marble. Maybe you loved playing marbles as a child. I did. I remember that, playing marbles at primary school. Tiger's eye crystal. You could work with that as well. That could be important. So that could come up. Maybe you had a cat that was a tiger's eye, or had, it looked like a tiger eye cat, or whatever they're called. But the symbolism of a tiger's eye, a cat, or cat-like features, or love playing marbles is important to you. Oh, what's in this? A starfish. So you're very adaptable. So maybe you moved a lot as a child and had to adapt to new scenes. And look, it's encompassed in a firecracker, empty firecracker. Now this is out of my son's toy gun, and they're like those fake guns that make the big bangs, and they expel these little firecrackers. And this is a starfish embedded with it. Look, it's literally stuck there hanging. So maybe you didn't like the fact that you had to move a lot. Even though you adapted physically, mentally, you missed the places you were, you missed the friendships you had, you missed the people you left behind, and sometimes it exploded. And you had outbursts of rage from having to uplift your life all the time, upheave your life all the time. Oh, you got 2 diamonds. So this also tells me that your parents did instill good values in you and treated you like a precious little diamond. You got 2 diamonds. Eva. Your name could be Eva, or start with an E, but you forever were thinking you're going to move away and you're never going to settle down. The padlock is here. You thought you would never be happy. You thought you would never settle down. As I said, you thought you would be forever on the move and just going and going and going, and this enraged you. We have a 0 here. Oh, where did that go? I don't know where that went. It just went. We won't worry about that one. We have nature. You loved being in nature as a child. We have a leaf here. You would have loved it being adventurous and out in nature quite a lot. A bobby pin. I feel like a lot of your life you did have it put together, but sometimes you do have these outbursts of rage or instability when it comes to staying in one place. You didn't have a good role model when it came to stability in regards to a home. You were always moving. Maybe one of your parents was in the army, or maybe they were just moving constantly because they weren't role modeled a good home life. But whatever it is, you have stability in some points in your life. But when it comes to home life, I feel like you're very unstable. You are very curious. You do like the winter. So what charms do we have on here? The winter. So you do like the cold winter times, or winter times are very important to you. Mother Mary, so you maybe pray. So it shows you're very spiritual as well, because you got the cross and Mother Mary. And coin, again, money and abundance is very important to you. Maybe you grew up very poor as well, and have a lack mentality when it comes to stability, home life, and financial means. So They are just your charms, the only start of your story. So let's now channel with your child self. And we are going to go and visit the charms again with your child self and work our way through them, see what they have to say about it. And we are going to start channeling now. So please give me my position. Archangel Michael, who is my main guide, please watch over us. Let no evil or trickster energy come and interfere with this reading. Please let us stay protected with a ray of white light and love. Amen. Okay. Instantly, I get the name Sally. So Sally could have some relevance to you. I get the age 8. And again, don't worry, even if I'm saying a girl, it could be for you still, even if you're male, because pay attention to the words in the story that I say and that I'm channeling, because that's what you're looking for resonation. Sally. Yes, I'm Sally. Is that your name? Yes. Do you have a lisp, Sally? Yes, I have a little bit of a speech impediment, and I'm a bit scared of it because people make fun of me and they say I'm a lisp Sally. They call me lisp Sally. And sometimes I make noises. Like I can't say shh properly. I say shh, not shh. And it's hard to talk sometimes because I have a lisp, and I feel like I'm very intelligent and I really want to connect with the world, and I feel very spiritual, and I feel like I have psychic abilities, and nobody takes me seriously, not even in my family. You're talking very fast, Sally. You sound like a very intelligent little girl. I am. It's just this damn speech impediment, and are you working with a speech pathologist or a counselor? Someone that helps you with your speech? Yes. And I have been since I was young, but it still doesn't help. I still have they say I have a lazy tongue. I don't understand what that means, a lazy tongue. Okay. So do you go to school, Sally? I'm homeschooled mostly because my mum does move a lot. And I think you already said that they move a lot because I sometimes get bullied a lot. And Mum doesn't like that I get bullied. She does think I'm a precious diamond, and I get bullied because of my lisp, of my speech impediment, and because I am spiritual. I was born with these gifts, and Mum was born with these gifts, and we do get teased a lot, and people in our era really don't like spirituality. They say it's witches, they say it's hocus pocus, they don't believe in it. And in little towns across America, it's really not well thought of. And so we have to move a lot because it feels like we can't really be who we are, because I feel like I can see people's souls. And I tell people I can see their souls, and they think I'm crazy. And they say I'm crazy. And they think I don't know how to explain it. They just think I'm crazy. That must be very hard for you, Sally, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Is it your choice to move, or is it your mum's choice to move? Mum's choice. And Dad was moving with us for a while, but he got sick of moving, so he just left and he went with another girl, and he said I'm crazy as well, which isn't very nice. But I still see him when I can, but it's not very often because we move so much and we don't even tell him where we are. Oh, you're really breaking those lollies there. Do you like lollies? Yeah, they're okay, but I don't like them that much, but it's fun to squeeze them. I feel like you're a bit frustrated. What is frustrated? So you're a bit angry, but not so angry to the point of really wanting to hurt something or hurt someone or do danger, but just frustrated, like angry, like you have no control over your life or how you live it. Yeah, that's true. That's why I like squeezing these lollies, because it's frustrating. I didn't know that word, but you taught me a new word. See, I'm very intelligent, aren't I? You are very intelligent. You are very special indeed. So You're 8 years old, Sally. When did you first move? Do you remember? I think I was 3 or 4, but I didn't understand moving at the time. I only understand moving now because I feel like it's my fault because I am the way I am, and I tell people I can see their souls, and I tell them that I have messages for them, and Mum doesn't like me doing that, but I feel like I have to do that because something inside me tells me I need to do that. And you live in America, you said? Yeah. We're originally from Wisconsin, and that's where I was born, and we pretty much move everywhere. At the moment, we're in Las Vegas, and Mum said we haven't got to move again, but it's okay. If you don't remember, you don't have to tell me. That's okay. So, Sally, it feels like your speech impediment's gone a bit. Yeah, it's more so when I get nervous and don't really know you, but now I feel comfortable with you, and I'm slowing down my words, and I'm not so nervous, and my tongue's not acting so lazy. So that's what lazy tongue means. It means when you're nervous and you don't know somebody, you kind of get a speech impediment and you're really slow with your S's because you are nervous about meeting someone and interacting with them. Yeah, that's kind of right. I guess you're right there. So you don't like eating lollies? No? Not really. I eat lollies. And Mum sometimes gives me lollies to reward me when I do something good, like take the trash out or do the dishes or help with my baby brother. Oh, you've got a baby brother? Yeah, he's only 1 though. Mum, I really shouldn't tell that story. It's not very appropriate. But I have a 1-year-old baby brother, and it's just me, James, and Mum. That's it. Okay, I won't. You don't have to tell that story, but feel free to know that you are welcome to share that story with me. This is a safe space, and the collective that's listening is relating to your story, and hopefully they are getting something from the therapy as well. That's okay. I like to help people, and I'm happy to talk. So why can't you share the story, or do you feel comfortable sharing any parts of the story about the story of baby James? Well, Mum met this man, and he wasn't nice to me. He said I was weird because I told him that there was a witch who he had in his past life, and she was haunting him because he put her to death, and he needs to watch out for a fire. And then he had a fire in his house, and Mum said that, well, Mum didn't say it. He said that I caused that to happen, and I was a witch, and I was crazy. I'm only 8 though. How am I supposed to do that? I just get told what the person inside me tells me to see, and I just tell them. Okay, so this man treated you not so nice because you were sharing your abilities with him. Is that correct? That's correct. And what did your mum do about it? Well, she has the same abilities, but I don't... it's alright, I heard your speech impediment. You don't have to get frustrated, it's okay. Just slow down and take your time, okay? Yeah. That's it, take some breaths. Mum has the same abilities as me, but she doesn't use them. She just hides them. And that's not good because she has someone that talks to her too. Yeah, that's called your spirit guide. It's more developed in the 20th century. Are you living... Is your time era different to the time era we're in now? Yeah, I'm in 1964. What year are you in? So we're in 2022 now. So even though you might be someone's ancestor here, and you might be some ancestral trauma that has occurred in someone's life, and you might be relating a message to the people of 2022 from your time era. That's very exciting. You are a very special young lady, Sally. Thank you. I'm glad that I can connect and help because they always tell me I'm very special, and I have something special to share with the world, and Mum says no, but she has the same, and yeah, I don't know what to say now. That's okay, Sally. It's okay. We appreciate you talking to us for one, and sharing your story with us. Can you tell us more about moving and why you moved so much? I know you said that Mum made you move, and you're first 4 years old when you moved, but you didn't understand it at the time. How many times do you think you've moved in the last 4 years? You're now 8. First one happened when you were 4. What age do you think you were? Sorry, how many times do you think you've moved? Maybe 6, I think. That's a lot in 4 years, 6 times. What happens when it comes close to the time of moving? Well, sometimes Mum does meet a man and they have a fight, or he thinks I'm crazy, and she just gets up and moves. So did you ever go to school and make friends? Yes, I did in the first years when I was 5 and 6. But I don't go to school. Mum just keeps me home, and I just help with James and stay home, and she tries to teach me things, but it's more things to do with spirituality rather than school stuff. So it's like go into the woods and we learn how to pick herbs, and we learn how to look at the sun and catch fish, and I help in the garden and help feed James. Okay, so it's more about building your spiritual side, which your mother sounds like she nurtures when it's just you and her in private, but in public your mother doesn't really like you to share your authentic self, your real you. Sorry. Yeah, because people call me crazy, and it's not very nice to be called crazy when I just feel like I gotta tell people what their soul wants me to tell them. It's not fair. So I don't really have many friends, and I feel like I'm James's mother sometimes when Mum's off on her dates and I have to look after him. You look after him on your own at 8, that's a big responsibility for a little girl. Yeah, I know. And I feel like it's a lot, especially when he cries and I can't get him to stop crying. But you want to know something fun? What was that? What do you want to tell me that's fun? I was told by my the voice inside my head, and Mum said it's called my ancestor, I think, for someone that's related to us but doesn't really live anymore. She said that she was a witch as well, and she now lives in me, and I am the same person as her. So I was a witch, and she was killed in the olden days by fire, and now she come to life again through me, and now I'm her. That's pretty cool, hey? That is really exciting that your lineage comes from witches, and you're a strong and powerful, special little girl, and you're very intelligent. So yes, it's very good that you have this intelligence and this magic and your wits about you. So you're very, very special indeed, and you're very intelligent. Like, I can't believe the intelligence of you. It's crazy. It's like having a conversation with an adult. Yeah, Mum says that because it's just me and her, and she just talks to me like I'm her friend, and she tells me lots of things, like things she shouldn't even tell me about. Like, she talked about a man's doodle once, and I don't know what a doodle is. I know James has a doodle. I shouldn't know about doodles. I'm only 8. I'm a little girl. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that was... Thank you for sharing that. Why was your mum talking to you about a doodle? She just said men have doodles, and sometimes they get hard when they're happy. But this man got really hard and weed himself and had an accident in his pants, and it made Mum laugh, and he made her leave. That's why we had to move once, because this man weed himself and yelled at Mum and made her leave. That's not very good. Did it make you sad when you had to move? Yeah. But I laughed at the doodle story. That was pretty funny. So do you talk to your mum about how you feel? How it makes you feel when you have to move? No, not really. I don't think she really cares. She just cares about getting a boyfriend and sleeping. She does have fun though when we go out into the woods and fishing, and we get seeds, and we make bear traps, and we catch squirrels, and we forage. That's fun. We even camped out once. That was really fun. When Mum isn't looking for a man, it's really fun because she's different, and she actually likes embracing that we're witches, and that we can do our magic and spells. That's fun. Oh, okay. So, just to recap, Sally is 8. She had her first traumatic event that she can recall. Well, it's really affecting her as an 8-year-old, okay? Because she has to parent her baby brother. So she mothers. She has mothering skills. She feels like she has to mother her mother and mother her baby brother. So a lot of responsibility on her shoulders. She feels like her mum is her friend and not her mother, so she hasn't got a very good role model. Her father left and abandoned her as well, so no father in the picture, no appropriate male role model. The instability of moving constantly, there's a lot of trauma in this little girl's life. And on top of that, the speech impediment when she first meets someone and gets nervous, that's another thing. And then also being a witch. She's a young witch and she knows it. And she's reincarnated as a witch. This is so intelligent though. And she's handling it with grace and style. But I don't think this is directly your inner child as such. But this is an ancestor of yours, inner child. I think your inner child has gone through worse trauma or similar trauma of that as Sally has, and she's coming in representation of herself as an ancestor to you, for you, because you're too vulnerable. You're not feeling that you can or are ready to reach into your trauma as played out, what's the word I want to use? You don't want to go into your trauma as a child because you feel like there's wounds that you're just not ready to face. But that's why your ancestor is here representing for you, so you still have a representation of an inner child and you share similarities. It may not be all of them, but you share similarities of her life and it's mirroring in yours as unhealed trauma. So it's a bit hard to define the two, but we will continue the channeling with Sally. I like having conversations with her. She's quite fun. She could also be a spirit guide for you now, in your adult life. Let's find out though. We're going to do the charms now with her. Okay. So Sally, are you still with us? Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening to you talk. Who are you talking to? So do you see this little device? In 2022, we actually have devices called phones. We have a phone, but it's on the wall. That's alright. We used to have phones on walls, but now we have cell phones. I think they call them in America cell phones. And you can record yourself on them. There's so much magic that you can do now in 2022 that you probably can't do in 1964. How exciting is that? That's pretty cool. Okay, Sally, let's go through the charms. Now, nature is here. It's very evident that you like nature because you got the leaf and you got winter. What can you tell me about winter and nature? Well, I said we went out to the woods a lot because I already told you that. And that was fun. That was the most fun I had with Mum and James. And wintertime is really hard because we couldn't have much food. We didn't have much money because Mum wasn't with a man and Grandma wasn't sending money. So your grandma actually sent you money as well. Yeah, sometimes, but she got sick of sending money, so she stopped. And in wintertime, one winter it was so cold, we had no heater. So Mum chopped up the floor and set a fire on the floor so we could get warm. But it nearly burnt the house down, so she nearly went to jail. And sometime me and James got put in another home. And it wasn't nice. They weren't very nice people. But Mum got us back because she got a house. That's what I remember of winter. Okay. So you didn't have much money growing up? No. Mum didn't have a job and she didn't have a boyfriend a lot of the time because he thought, well, that just wasn't really. They thought I was crazy. They thought Mum was weird. But Nana used to, Grandma, send us some money. She got sick of it, so she didn't. So Mum, that's why we forage for the food a lot. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. What does clarify mean? Thank you for talking to me about that. Now, what can you tell me about, does this mean anything to you? It looks like a star. It's a starfish. I don't know what a starfish is, but that's the star we look up at night and we see it in the sky. Sometimes when we camped, we look at the sky and it's beautiful. Beautiful. I'm glad this is resonating for you, Sally. And what about this? It's a firecracker. So do you get angry sometimes? Yeah. When we have to move, I got angry. When Mum leaves me with James all the time, I get angry. When people call me crazy, I get angry. And I just want to have fun and make a friend and talk to people about what they're supposed to know. So I get angry all the time. But there's nothing I can do about it, so I don't really think about it. That's okay. What do you do for fun? Mostly go in the forest and talk to my witch that is inside of me and pick some berries and catch some fish. You're very talented for an 8-year-old, I must say. Yes, Mum's teaching me, she calls them life skills because she said we don't have much money, so we have to make life skills. So, I see where the money and the diamonds come in now. Your mum was precious and keep teaching you valuable life skills so you would learn how to survive even if you didn't have the means to survive. Very, very clever there. Yeah, I guess that's how you can put it. Now, did you have a cat or a tiger? What does tiger's eye mean to you? What's this marble? We had some marbles. Once Mum's boyfriend brought us some marbles and we played, well, James would eat them. He tried to put them in his mouth and eat them and he put dribble all over them. It was gross and then I had to wash my marbles. But that looks like a one. It kind of looks like the sun. And I like the sun because it makes me nice and warm. So that kind of looks like the sun. So that's why the marble came out and that's the relevance to the sun there. Okay. Did you have a diary when you were younger? No. Okay, but we had a lock on our door because people used to just come in all the time. What do you mean people used to come in all the time? Some people just come in and didn't knock and just came in. And sometimes they took our furniture, but we didn't have much furniture. Once they even took baby James's crib and he had to sleep in a drawer. That's not good. No, Mum cried a long time about that, but... So this looked like a lock that was on your door. Yeah. Well, it's good that you had some kind of security, wasn't it? What do you think this is? Don't know. So this is a golf tee. This is the word ever. Ever was my nana's name. Oh, so that ties in. And this is a bobby pin. This is what we do to put our hair up. So, did you have them back then? No. See, we put it in our hair. Just like that. Probably not a best example, but we put it in our hair. My hair's nice and long, so I don't really need these. So, I think they relate to your life because you wanted a successful life. You wanted friends. You wanted to make healthy connections, and you wanted to just be this beautiful, free-natured spirit running around, and you felt like you had too much responsibility. You had to stay at home, cater to your brother, cater to your mother, watch men come and go from her lives, and it wasn't a very healthy upbringing at all. But it was a different time era, so it may have been, even though emotionally it wasn't okay, physically it wasn't okay, it was accepted back then as normal. Well, not normal, but okay for the time period, I'm guessing. From the movies I've watched, from what my mother talks about, what my grandmother talked about, it was completely normal to have an 8-year-old look after a 1-year-old, but I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, please mention in the comments, because I was born in 1980 and I don't know much about the 60s as an era. So, Sally, thank you for talking with us. What we're going to do now is we're going to continue your story through the cards, through the tarot, get some advice, and also identify the trauma that you've actually experienced. So 8-year-old is the age we're working with. So you have the age, the mentality of an 8-year-old, and that's the emotional age that your first trauma occurred that you can remember, okay? Or that you identify with anyway. And your emotional age, that being of an 8-year-old, is the age that you carry with you throughout your teenage life and adult life. And that's the emotional age, how you respond as well in your teenage and adult life. So our emotional age actually affects the way we emotionally respond within our teenage and adult life. I hope you're getting it. Stick with me. So in order to repair your emotional age and the trauma that has happened to you as a child, firstly identifying the age and the traumas that occurred from exploring and speaking out loud and connecting with your inner child. So there was a lot of trauma here again. And again, this may not be your direct trauma, but it's your ancestral trauma from your lineage that needs addressing, that needs healing as well. You may be an advanced spiritual worker and you may have already identified your childhood trauma. That could be the case as well. And now your ancestral trauma is coming through and wanting to be healed through you. You may have traits within your ancestral lineage that are occurring within your life now, and cycles and lessons aren't being learnt and purged. So Sally's trauma was having to be mothered, having to act like a mother in her role, in her mother's role, because her mother was out chasing a man as such. Men coming and going from her life, father leaving, so she doesn't have a positive role model when it comes to a male within her life either. She wasn't role modeled a positive male emotional attachment. She doesn't have positive shut up dogs, positive emotional or male attachments. So that's another trauma. Having no friends, being very isolated, having her spiritual gifts, practicing her spiritual gifts, being called crazy for practicing her spiritual gifts, even though they came naturally to her. And also her speech impediment and constantly moving. There's so much trauma here. This is why I said get a pen and paper. You need to write these down as they happen. And this is what I do in my trauma counseling course. We write them down as they happen. They pinpoint them. Then we can actually go back when you're feeling ready and willing and visit each traumatic event. Explore the story in depth. Express the feelings, the emotions that are curated during that storytelling, through that experience. Identify, express the feelings, feel the feelings, and work ways how we can move through it, and set boundaries in your life now so they don't happen to you again in this lifetime. This is what my trauma therapy is all about. Connecting, identifying, putting boundaries in place, accepting they've happened, and changing the way you respond emotionally. Okay. Let's get you some more cards. This is my little blonde deck. Let's get you... This isn't my blonde deck. What am I speaking about? This is the Rouge deck. The Blonde Psychic Rouge deck. For that cheeky little bugger. Oops, cheeky little bugger. You sound better with your mouth closed. Trauma. Being told you're crazy. Being told not to speak about what comes to you naturally. Being told what is witchcraft and shouldn't be spoken about, shunned upon. You love the fact that you were a witch. You love the fact that it was a natural passion for you, and you were born with it in your lineage and within your life now. You are most happy when you're outside in nature practicing your witchcraft, but it is shunned upon and you're told to be silenced. The trauma lays dormant, unhealed. How that relates to your life now as a teenager and in your adult life. Maybe you haven't felt free to talk about your spirituality. Maybe you're always, when it comes to expressing your true feelings, you keep them quiet because you are brought all the way back to this trauma as a child and thinking, keep your feelings and your passions and the way you think and feel to yourself. You are not to be heard. Your feelings are irrelevant. You're crazy. You're stupid. And you still react with that trauma and into that feeling of the trauma, so you don't speak your true mind, its opinion. Let's check your energy. What do we have here? Rest and rejuvenation and the thinking man. Identifying that spirituality is just first and foremost your passion and livelihood, and you want to make your life's work about spirituality. Look how enlightened you are when you are doing your spiritual work. It's beaming from every pore in your body. It's within you. It's in your lineage. It's from your ancestors. It embodies you. Sometimes you get very worked up about not being able to practice. Maybe you're still living in a town where it's shunned upon, or with relatives that think it's all crazy and woo-woo and whatever. You don't feel that you can speak your mind. You feel like you need to be silenced when it comes to your spirituality, and it's not healthy. It's taking an unhealthy obsession over your being. The need to be silenced, the need to not express yourself, the need to shh is not healthy at all. You need to go into a deep phase of healing, of thinking what you truly want and what you want to be expressing and doing with your life, and healing your childhood trauma so you can move on and live your true, authentic life. The thinking man. You never had a positive male role model in your life. It was never, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. I have a mental blank. A positive model. Oh my goodness. A positive male role model in your life. So you do have unhealthy attachment when it comes to men. Maybe you jump into relationships and mother the men you're with. Maybe you try and build up the men you're with. Maybe you're choosing the wrong type of people constantly over and over again because you've seen your mother, or in this case your relative, do it over and over again, and it's passing down through the your lineage, and you may even not be consciously aware that the fact this has happened. You're thinking, maybe, no, this didn't happen to me, this isn't my energy, but subconsciously it's happened into your ancestor. and it's passed down through your bloodline to you. And now it is repeating. The cycle is repeating. You may not be aware of it, as I said. But when it comes to men and males, older males especially, you don't have a healthy point of view of them. So this needs to be addressed as well. The way you have a relationship with a man needs to be analyzed. And boundaries need to be put in place for yourself. First and foremost, you need to identify the issues. How can you put boundaries in place to heal that energy and not keep repeating the same disruptive cycles, so you can have a healthy relationship and attachment to men? This is all the trauma work we do within the therapy sessions that I teach. But if you can't do them with a professional, and that's completely fine, I'm giving you tips on how you can do them yourself at home by identifying the issues, by feeling the emotions, by working your way through understanding that this isn't your fault. It happened to you as a child, or through your lineage in this case, and it needs to be identified, felt, accepted, and boundaries need to be put in place so patterns aren't repeated in the future, and you can have a healthy relationship. Building blocks and yang, or reversed. I love this. Again, and I didn't even look at these cards as I was just talking. This explains perfectly what I was just talking about. Your relationships and unhealthy attachment to males needs work first and foremost. I think you're chasing a relationship. You were lonely quite a lot because you were left to babysit or mother your young sibling. You were left alone a lot because your mother was out chasing a male. And you have unhealthy attachments to males. Male relationships especially. To keeping a relationship especially, because you're too busy mothering them and pouring your love into them that you haven't poured the love into yourself. You haven't built up the relationship you needed to have with yourself first and foremost. And that's what you need to do to have any healthy relationship in this world. Work on the relationship with yourself. Make yourself happy. Make yourself being whole, happy, whole, alone. So that when your world does come crumbling down and that person does leave, yeah, it will be sad because you've lost a person. But you'll have the ability to get over it because you're so strong internally and you're so happy and fulfilled alone that it shouldn't affect you, and you shouldn't be devastated to the point of self-harm or anything like that. That's what I mean. First and foremost, work on the relationship with yourself, falling in love with yourself, being happy, whole. Building blocks need to take place, and you need to work on yourself first and foremost, the relationship with yourself, before you even think about getting a partner. Because unhealthy attachments to males, not happening right now. There's a lot of work we need to do, isn't there? This is hurting my legs, I need to stretch a bit. Okay. So, we've identified all of the wounds. We've identified things in your personal life now that are coming out. First and foremost, working on the relationship with yourself, working on your spiritual practice you want to build, or your relationship with the spiritual side of you, and the unhealthy attachments to males. 3 big issues, that need to be worked on. Did you see how fast your cards came out then? Magician, High Priestess, and Empress. Wow. These are major arcana cards, but total powerhouse cards. If you don't know tarot, the Magician is taking charge of your life and trying to manifest the miracles you want to have in your life and the way you want your life to be, in a sense. The High Priestess is your inner self, your intuition, like Sally spoke about, having that witch inside of her that was her ancestor. You've got a guide inside of you, and Sally may be your guide now. That's why she's appeared for you. High Priestess is here as well, so your intuition is leading you and always has led you to your true potential and your true worth. And it has been shunned, in a sense, and blocked down way deep inside you due to childhood wounds. An Empress. Now is your time to take control of your life. You are going to take control. You are going to rebuild, and you are going to let nobody else stand in your way. 3 very powerful cards there, and I think your time of fucking around with people is over. You're taking charge. You're going to let these inner child wounds heal. You're going to do the work, and you're going to transform your own life. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, continue your advice. Oh, that came out fast. Love it. Lenormand card for advice, please. Oh, that's too many. Lenormand card for advice, please. And if you'd like to purchase any of my beautiful decks, the link is in bio below. If you'd like to reach out for me for trauma counseling, link is in bio below. Beautiful. Oh, you're from the hippie era. I absolutely love it. You've got representation of daisies, of wild child, of living passionate and free. Love it. Your representation is beautiful. I'll do that one in a minute. Let me talk about your cards. So these are my Lenormand cards, my Blonde Destiny Lenormand cards. Look at you, sitting in your flower field, not caring about life, flowy hair, beautiful dress on, smelling the flowers, not giving a shit about anything else. This is what you're going to start embodying. This is the life you're going to work your way to. Alone, in love with yourself, having the time of your life, doing your spiritual work. And again, it's emphasized here. You will be very successful once you start living your true, authentic life. She's got magazine covers here. She's got wealth and prosperity and destinations of travel on there. You're going to be so successful once you live your heal your childhood wounds, heal your ancestral wounds, start shedding your old skin, and start living your true authentic life. It is going to take you to places you've never been before. Whoa, that is amazing. Now, this is my fairy gemstone deck. A crystal you could work with that is important to you right now is moss agate. Fertility, all-round energy protector, new beginnings. Wow. Fertility. Sorry, and you got the Empress card, remember? The Empress also represents fertility. And remember, those motherhood wounds need healing. And the Empress represents new beginning, the birthing of new creations, the birthing of new ideas, mothering, bossing up. And you, remember, took care of your baby brother or your ancestors' baby brother, and so you have the natural ability to mother and love and care. Remember at you started the reading I said you were a heart-centered person, a loving person. Candy's sweet, you're sweet like candy. I get the acknowledgement now. Sally said she didn't really like eating candy, but she liked it as a treat. But you're sweet and pure and innocent like candy. I get the reference to this group now. But again, moss agate is important, so order yourself some. Fertility may not mean you're going to get pregnant and have a baby, but it means you're going to be the birth of new creations and ideas. All-round energy protector, so that's your spiritual practice coming into play, you learning and sharing your experiences with others, learning to protect your energy and not take on other people's energy. So really getting grounded and in touch with your work that you're going to be doing in the future. And new beginnings. Wow, you're becoming invincible and your true authentic self is going to shine through. This is beautiful. The Riddle and the Judge. The Riddle and the Judge. You're at the point of precipice. You're ready to cross into the unknown. Take your own hand and not let the intimidation of the world stop you anymore. You're being the judge of your own life, the director of your own ship, the captain of your own ship, and you're in charge of your destiny, and you know your destiny is to take you great places, and it will take you great places as shown in the Destiny deck already. You're going great places and you are in charge. This is very positive. All right, final advice from my inner child decks. So final advice to help you with your childhood healing as well. Inner child trauma. I can't speak. I just burped. I'm sorry. I'm a human being too. Oh, that one came out. Okay, signs that you are wounded. Group 1 got this card as well, so get ready to write these down or record these or screen record, whatever you need to do. Now, these may be attributes that are showing up in your life, but doesn't mean that you have every single one of these, okay? This is just identifying, tying your reading, tying this reading in for you, saying you could be showing these attributes in your adult life as a result of your childhood wounds, okay? Showing low self-esteem, poor body image, mood and emotional imbalances, problems with boundaries, definitely, being too rigid or too weak, problems with eating, harming yourself, psychosexual difficulties, being false and wearing masks, identity problems, being a rebel, a hoarder, a bully, a perennial victim, or a super achiever. I think it's don't think any of them apply to you, but if they do, that's okay. You can identify them and work through them. Commitment problems. I definitely think you have commitment problems because you moved all the time and your instability to stay in one place. A general lack of trust in yourself and others, criminal behavior, excessive lying, being overly responsible for others. That's definitely you. A poor loser, fiercely competitive, dependence and addictions, a lack of genuine friends, definitely a lack of genuine friends, obsessive and needy behavior, fear of authority figures, being manipulative, being passive or passive aggressive. I think some of them definitely apply to you, but not all of them. So just know that the ones you do identify with, write down, revisit them, those memories as your inner child, or ask Sally to come into your life and channel with you. But if you don't know how to do that, just write them down in the first instance. Acknowledge the behavior behind why you're doing that. Link it back to your childhood story and try and feel the feelings and express the way they needed to be expressed. Accept what's happened. Know that you need to change your behavior, those parts of you that you're not happy with, and put boundaries in place so you can change that behavior and adapt your life to change. She has a home in your heart that she will never have to leave. She is safe with you now. This is very reassuring. This is saying to me that you will do the work, you will explore your deep childhood wounds, you will write them down, and you will heal them. And then, and only then, we have an authentic, beautiful, nourishing relationship with your inner child. That you feel safe, secure, and humbled. Oh, that's so beautiful. It made me want to cry. And remember, if you are not Sally, Sally is one of your direct descendants. And your ancestral trauma is passed on through her, down your lineage, down your bloodline to you. So that needs exploring as well. Once you've done your own healing, you can then look into your I also offer an ancestral and past lives healing course. Once you've done your own personal trauma, I want people to do their own personal stories first, their own personal trauma first. But once you've done that and you're ready, feel like you're ready to do your ancestral trauma and your past lives trauma, contact me, reach out to me, or do it on your own as well. Much love, take care, and I hope this helped with identifying your emotional age and getting in touch with your inner child. Bye. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this little water game here, this fun little... What's going on? They're not moving now. There we go. This fun little interactive water game. I don't know why balls aren't moving. Hello, wake up, balls. Then this is your group. So that tells me you're very creative, very interactive, very social. You had a very fun upbringing. Fun and laughter was very important to your household. Games, you may have been a gamer. You may have been early 80s or 90s. But you are drawn to the allure of winning this game and I think you're a bit of a perfectionist as well, because you like getting everything done. You like winning. And there is a bit of a competitiveness to you as well, which was, encouraged in your household, because I feel like it was encouraged. This is just the intuitive messages that are coming to me straight away. And it's weird because your group started off different to the others. But I think competitiveness and winning was encouraged in your household, which is nothing wrong with that. But just remember, there wasn't much balance, so that could have been very traumatic to you as well. But I forgot to say, this is a very important thing I needed to say. Within your reading, you need to please go back and watch the introduction. It explains exactly what the emotional code is, what emotional age is, and how it works. So this is a treatment service that I offer. You're getting it for free today because I am just a giving person. I love to help you guys for free as much as I can. And you have to actually give me permission to channel with your inner child, because it is your inner child. It is your younger self, a representation of your younger self. And you are ultimately in charge of your being. So I need permission to interact with your energy as a young child, okay? So if you're not ready for that, if you're not ready to see what they're going to reveal to me, because we don't know what's going to be revealed. It could be deep, dark, horrible things that get revealed. Sexual abuse, physical, emotional, we don't know. And if you're not ready for that, you're not ready for this video. I always say when people come to me for counseling, you have to be ready and willing. And one step is, and one sign is that you've actually come to me willingly. I will not hunt anybody down to work with me. I will not approach anyone. They've all got to come to me. Just like most authentic psychics out there, okay? I have actually done courses in energy healing, psychology, and holistic work to actually, and I do have certification of it. If you want to go check out my social media, it's all over there. It's fun. NLP coaching. I have done it all to enable myself to help people with this work. Okay, so I'm not just making shit up out of my head. So I do have the accreditation to work with people in this field, and I do offer it as a course. But first and foremost, you need to give me permission to work with your energy, and you need to be ready. So have a pen and paper ready, have tissues ready, have a support person or object ready, because it may unleash some raw emotions that you may not be ready for, okay? So what we're going to do first is some charms just to get into that childlike mentality. Then we're going to channel with your childhood self. Now, it was interesting. Group 2, which I just finished reading, was very different. I don't think they were ready to actually bring out their inner child themselves. So an ancestor's inner child actually came out, because we have layers of healing as people, and we're all connected intermittently from the dawn of time, and especially our ancestors and the trauma that occurred within our ancestors' lifetime travels through our bloodlines and is still evident in your world and affecting your world that you live in today. And they actually had an ancestor come through and identify themselves, and there was a lot of unhealed trauma within that lifetime as well. So that was interesting. They were being encouraged to face their trauma first and foremost and heal their ancestors' trauma. They were strong enough to do that. So that may happen in this instance. I don't think it will. I think your inner child's ready to come out and show me how competitive they are. And I don't know why I'm getting references to the name Buck or Bucky, but we will see, because I'm not ready for you yet. Just hang on a minute, mate. But it is definitely a male. And again, if I identify as a male, just know, pay attention to the story that comes out, because it could be for you. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. That's fine. But even if it's male or female, the story could be similar to yours, and I will identify the ways and things that you can handle within your life to actually change those circumstances, okay? So first and foremost, we're doing charms, channeling with your inner child, identifying what trauma happened and what age they happened at, the circumstances happened at, because your emotional age is actually a code, form of therapy that I actually invented. Your emotional age is the age at which you endeavored. Sorry, I'm listening. They're having a barbecue outside and they're being very loud, so it's kind of off-putting. I'm going to go out and tell them to be quiet in a minute. I'm not enjoying the barbecue. I'm in here doing a reading because this is my passion, by the way. And they're like, come outside, enjoy the sunshine. And I will after I've done this. This is my work. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. So I'm doing it on my day off because I absolutely love helping you guys. But anyway, your emotional age is that age at what your first traumatic event happened in your life. And by identifying the trauma and the age that it happens, helps identify why you are the way you are emotionally in your teenage and adult life. So say your first trauma happened at 3 years old. You have the emotional intelligence of a 3-year-old, and you carry that throughout your life and act accordingly to the equivalent of a 3-year-old. Stick with me, we'll find out, and it will explain a lot. We're also going to use some tarot and oracle cards to delve more into your story, and then finally with some oracle cards for advice and my inner childhood deck for final advice, okay? So stick with me. It could be a long one. Make sure you got some water, get comfortable, and let's jump in, okay? With you gamers. Alright, so let's jump into your reading. I have been eating these lollies from Group 2's reading. It's all about inner child. Children love lollies, so why not indulge, right? Do you want one? There you go. It just broke. Okay. Group 3. My energetic, competitive gamers. Let's see what's going on for you. Group 3. Please give me permission to connect with your inner child energy. Archangel Michael, please keep us protected during this reading. Please let no evil or trickster forces come in and interfere with this reading. Please keep us in a state of light and love during this reading. Amen. These are my charms. Let's lure your child in. What did we get? Okay. We got the number 5. You may be a 5-year-old. A cabbage. Super healthy. A thong. I get with this tropical vacations, fun in the sun. You love the summertime. It's very relevant to you as well. And destiny is here. So the pink marble for me represents innocence, purity, happiness, soul, rose quartz, love, kind of attention. So you didn't get a heap of charms come out, but they do resonate with you somehow, and we will talk to your inner child about how they resonate with you as well by going over them. But I definitely do think 5 is an important age for you. So let's connect with your inner child's memory. Sorry, your inner child's energy. Why am I feeling very anxious? See, you're so competitive. You just want to get these balls in little hoops and you want to win. It's like important for you to win. How old are you? I'm 10. You're 10. So what happened when you were 5? Because 5 turned up in your trauma, it was importance. What happened? Can you stop playing for a moment and focus and talk to us for a moment? Alright. Lucky I respect my elders. Otherwise, I just keep playing my game. So you have kind of a bit of an avoidance issue, do you? What does that mean, lady? It means that when it comes to listening and authority, you don't really like listening, in a sense. Not really. I just like to play my games and run with my friends and ride my bike, and really don't care about listening. Who likes to listen? God. What is your name? You already know my name. You already said it. Why do you need me to repeat it? You have a bit of an attitude, don't you? Yes, my name's Buck. You knew this. That's my nickname, Bucky Buck. What else do you want to know, lady? Come on, like, what? What year are you in, Buck? Like, what era is it? In the 80s. Why? Like, don't you know? No, because we're in year 2022 now. Lady, are you on some warped medication or what? No. I'm here with your adult version of yourself, and I am talking to you as their inner child. Okay. So I'm not a kid anymore. Yes, you are a kid. Timeline will always exist for you forever as a child. You are embodied within that childhood 10-year-old version of yourself's timeline. You will forever be in that timeline. Past, present, future all coexist in one big timeline. So yes, you are relevant, and yes, I am revisiting you from the future, but you are relevant in your 1980s timeline where you're living now. Okay, lady. Did you come out of some Donkey Kong convention or something? So you do like arcade games. Yeah, why? So you like winning? Yeah, my dad wins all the time. He's really good at bowling, and he's really likes to win. He's really good at striking out, and he tries to get me to bowl. It's boring. I don't like boring. I just want to play my games, hang with my friends, play in the woods, hang at the arcade, ride my bike. Well, that's good that you have a healthy outlook when it comes to friendships and, childhood. And you know how to have fun. And it's very healthy to have a competitive nature, but respect and listening are also very important within one's lifetime. Okay, lady. You're really weird. Alright. So let's try and talk about what happened when you were 5. Did something traumatic happen when you were 5? I don't know. Is there something that made you upset, or did something happen that was impactful on your life or caused a change in your life? I'm sensing there was a sudden abrupt change. You mean when my papa died? Yes, that's an extreme change to your life. Well, he died when I was 5. He used to take care of us because my dad was always around tournaments. But that's it. So did you have a close relationship with your papa? Yeah, he looked after me. Of course I did. Well, that's very good to know. So he was kind of like the father figure in replacement of your father when your father was away playing in your bowling tournaments. Yeah, I guess. Well, that's good. Did you have a very close relationship with your papa? Yeah. What kind of things did you do together? Played video games. He took me to the arcade, brought me ice cream, brought me a bike. But when he died, Dad had to stop playing, and Dad got angry. Dad got upset with Papa because he no longer could travel in his tournaments and win. Well, that's not nice of your dad to get angry at you. It wasn't your fault. No. He was very competitive and he liked to win. And is that why you distract yourself with video games? You get lost in video games and you're so competitive and like to win? What does that mean? That's okay. Let's move on to another question. Sorry, I shouldn't speak in such broad terms. Look, I've nearly won. I only have 2 more balls to get in. That's very good, Bucky. You're very clever at these games, aren't you? So, what else can you tell me? What else do you enjoy doing? What did you enjoying with your dad? Well, I have to go watch Dad play bowling, which is pretty boring. And I just sit there on the video games or listen to my Walkman and listen to Dad play. Listen to Dad play? You mean watch your dad play? Yeah. You're not listening to me, are you? Not really. You're pretty boring. That's okay. Do you get bored very easily, Bucky? Yeah. Why? That's alright. You're very cute. Your innocence is very cute. So what happened to your mum, Bucky? Is she around? She died when I was a baby. I never knew my mum. That's pretty sad. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Nope, just me and Dad and Papa. Okay. So, you're really close to your papa and he took you to video games and he brought you a bike, and this all happened when you were 5. He died when I was 5. Then Dad took care of me. I've told you this. Yes, I know you've told me this. What else can you tell me? Anything else important? Why do you care? Because I'm channeling with your adult self now, and I want to share your experiences and help your adult self understand why you are the way you are as an adult. How am I as an adult? What's wrong with me? What are you talking about? So I just want to intervene here. So Bucky is a very complex child. He has lost his grandfather at 5, who was his main caregiver. Lost his mother at birth, who he never knew. So that's a trauma within itself. And so he's born into trauma. And then he loses his grandfather, who has a maternal bond to, who took care of him because his dad was absent and was away at bowling tournaments quite a lot. So interesting dynamic here. He's not very in touch with his feelings, even at a young age, even at the tender age of 5. He's avoidant of his true feelings and is very vague with his answers and doesn't even really like communicating with me because he doesn't want to open himself up to vulnerability. And this is what you'll be like as an adult and a teenager in your teenage and adult life, you may not open up to many people due to the loss of family members or close relationships that you have. Even your personal relationships, your love relationship, you'd be very decisive of who you share personal memories with and personal feelings with, because you don't want to open up and be vulnerable in fear that the person may just leave, or the person will die, or the person will just not be there anymore. So you have this void of just going within and keeping everything to yourself in fear of being vulnerable for the person and opening up to a person for the fear that they might just leave your life. That is a very traumatic thing that happened to you as a child. So your first trauma happened at birth, which you can't really remember because you were a child, but the absence of not having a mother and a positive female role model in your life would also be affecting your relationships you have with females. And it doesn't have to be love relationships. It could also be bosses, aunts, friends, whatever. Whenever you have an interaction with a female, you weren't role modeled from the perspective of a mother point of view. So you don't have anything that taught you how to interact with a female. So you're very limited in your skill set when it comes to interacting with a woman. There's only 3 really traumatic events that are being identified within your childhood, and you are very vague when it comes to expressing emotions and letting me into your personal space. But that's okay, because you are letting me ultimately into your personal space. You're just being very vague. So I'm trying to build up the rapport with your inner child of small talk, but still getting the answers I need by identifying the trauma that's happened within your child's childhood life. And again, it doesn't have to be directly, maybe you're not Bucky, maybe you're Carol from Pasadena, maybe you're Sally from South America, maybe you're Ingrid from India. Just take what I'm saying and relate it to your life. These child memories are appearing as these representations of children, yes, and fantastic if every single thing resonates with you, but take aspects from their life and apply the information to your own life as a bank of knowledge to learn how to adapt the behaviors you're experiencing within your life and adapting them and changing them so you can educate yourself first and foremost and identify why you are what is your emotional age first and foremost, and why you are acting the way you're acting, okay? So what we're going to do now, Bucky, is there anything else you want to say to me that you already haven't said? Nah, I'm just listening to you talk and playing my game. It's a pretty cool game. But I haven't won yet, and it's a bit annoying. I'm just going to chuck it in the bin. So what, you chuck things in the wind and you just disregard things when they don't work for you anymore? He loves doing these eyes. He's like, you're a stupid lady. That's how I'm feeling, the energy I'm getting. So we're not going to push him for much more information, but there is an avoidance energy with Bucky, saying that if things don't work or go his way within the first instances, then he does give up and he doesn't really try very hard to make things work in his life. So the instinct of winning and being accomplished that his father tried, those skill set that his father tried to install with him were very important to his father, but weren't adapted and taken on by Bucky, because yes, he likes to win when it comes to his arcade games, but not so much in life. If it's not working for him, he won't bother and he will just walk away from the situation altogether. So I'm sorry that it's being very vague with Bucky, but I'm taking what I can from it, okay? So his first, Bucky, what's this? We're going to do some work with my charms now. Are you happy to talk through these charms with me? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. So 5. We've already spoken to you what happened to you when you were 5. Is there anything else that happened when you were 5 that you want to talk about? No. Okay. Do you know what this is? It's a cabbage. I hate cabbage. What do you hate about cabbage? It tastes disgusting. My dad makes me sit there and eat cabbage, and I hate it. So I just got a vision of when I was a child, because Bucky's not interacting very much and not talking very much. My visions help me relate my experiences to the clients' experiences that I'm working with, and I can understand their lives better through my own experiences. So what happens is I got a vision of me when I was 7, and my dad used to make me sit there and the food I didn't eat, he made me sit there until I ate it. And I was basically sitting there for hours because I was so stubborn as a child and refused to eat this food because I hated it. And I think it was unfair the way he was treating me. And the food was stone cold, but I eventually ate it and moved on. So it was a hard lesson, but I don't know what was so important for my dad to teach me that lesson. So kind of understanding why I got that vision, because Bucky was in the same circumstance. His father made him sit there and eat the food he hated, and he grew disgruntled about it. That's why when it comes to challenging things in his life, he actually disregards them and walks away from them rather than facing them head on, because he's relaying the experience of eating the cabbage as a child to his father's experience of making him sit there and eat it to his life now. So maybe in your adult life now, when it comes to something that's a challenge to you, you can relate your childhood trauma to that and the experience of sitting there not having to eat the cabbage. And when it comes to something challenging in your adult life now, you just disregard it and don't even bother with it because it's too much for your brain to even handle. And that stems back to your childhood cabbage eating experience. What's this, Bucky? It's a flip-flop. Are you serious? It's a girl's flip-flop though. It has a flower on it. That's okay. How does this resonate with you? What does it have to do with your life? What does resonate mean? Resonate means, do you think it has anything to do with you as a child? Well, sometimes Dad travels and it's hot and he buys me flip-flops. So it resonates with you traveling and your dad going on bowling adventures and taking you. Is that right? Yeah, we went to the beach and got ice cream once and he brought me some blue flip-flops. Are you playing with the dice now, Bucky? Yeah, you're boring. This is boring. What does it have to do with anything? It's okay, we're nearly done and you can nearly go, okay? Good, because you're boring. Okay, now the pink marble. For me, this is rose quartz destiny, a mother's love. So I think this resonates to Bucky because his mother died at birth and he was never shown maternal love from a mother. So this is his mother showing up in a reading representing her love for her child that she never got to raise. This is a beautiful symbolism of a mother's love to her son that she never got to raise. And you may be experience void within your adult life if your mother didn't raise you, if she abandoned you, or you weren't didn't have your needs emotionally met as a mother. That includes over loving and over spoiling, okay? So know that your motherly love is present here, and even if your mother passed away as a young child, motherly love is hugely represented here, and even from heaven, she's watching over you always. Bucky, so thank you so much for talking with us. I really appreciate it. That's okay, lady. I'm just going to stay and just watch. Okay. All right, Bucky's just going to stay and watch. So what I want to do now is just get you some cards and some further advice. Okay. I'm not saying I hate you. What I'm saying is that you are literally the Monday of my life. This is my brood deck, by the way. If you'd like to order any of my decks, link is in bio below. So this is clearly saying that when it comes to things you don't like, you don't give a shit. And this is a hard exterior you've had to put on yourself as a persona as such, because you didn't get the maternal love. The feminine energy within you lies dormant because you were never mothered appropriately. Even if your mother is still alive or around, you never had your needs met with your feminine energy. So your feminine energy lies dormant. You don't have a caring or a natural ability to care or look after others. So you really have to do some work with your feminine, your inner feminine, and repair that energy and learn to nurture yourself and bring your feminine to light. So you can, especially when you have your own children, learn how to become a natural or have the natural ability to care for your child. And that may just come naturally when you have a child. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm saying your natural ability now to have feminine energy isn't there because your mother wasn't around or neglected your feelings as a child, okay? Beautiful. What have we got here? Patience, action, angel of balance, and garden, the garden and the gate. Garden and the gate. How beautiful and innocent is that energy there? See how the lighting just changed behind me? That is crazy. I don't know why that happened. That's bizarre. The garden and the gate. This is your beautiful feminine standing at that gate, waiting for you to acknowledge her and waiting for you to open that gate and be ready to work with her. You're being called to take action towards your feminine. I think your first step here is, besides acknowledging and writing down your trauma that you experienced as a child, is to take action towards your feminine and building your feminine energy. It really is being called for you to take that action and have patience with yourself to bring balance into the situation, because you're going to get very frustrated, as Bucky did as a child, with challenges. And relate back to that eating that cabbage scenario, you give up when you find something very challenging. So you're being called out to be patient, but take action when it comes towards actioning that and building up your feminine energy, regardless whether you're masculine or feminine. We all have masculine and feminine energy within ourselves, and yours lies dormant at this point in time. So you're being called to action your feminine, learn some more about it, call on your guides to work on your feminine, to letting her lead for a while in your life, learning how to nourish her and work with her and bring her to light, in a sense, and to learn to bring balance to your feminine energy, because at the moment I don't even think you're acting within a feminine way at all. Your feminine energy is not leading at all, and and it's just lying dormant. And it stems back to relating back to Bucky's story, the death of his mother at birth. Let's get you some more. So I hope you're writing these all down, because I really want you to take action and help heal those parts of you that need healing. Let's get you some more to your story. I just got an image of Bucky on this card because the card that came out was called Why. Why do I have to do this? Why do I even have to bother? Why am I watching this? Why am I wasting my time? Are you sitting there questioning this whole reading? It relates to your life somehow. What is the lesson you need to take from it? Only you can answer that. Maybe there's a message yet to come out. Maybe you need to listen to the whole thing and watch it again and to understand the hidden message because you're not getting it first time round. Only you can answer this question. My guides are saying you have the answers. Listen and watch and observe and learn. Oh, wow. Deep knowing thinker, truth be told, and chop wood. You're being called not only to action your feminine energy, but to heal your whole childhood life, your trauma, your everything. They're wanting you to do the work. The universe is wanting you to become a better version of the self, because at the moment, some of you are even living in dormant energy. The pain from your childhood, the rejection from your father, what's the word I want to say? Not rejection, the death of your grandfather, the death of your mother, or even if they're not dead in real life, why am I getting a mental blank right now? The incapacity of loving you. They didn't love you appropriately. Your emotions weren't met, your needs weren't met. So you have to go back and visit all these core memories and do the work and try and write it down. Feel the emotions that were expressed, that were felt. Work your way through them. Really think about all of the experiences that happened in your childhood life to get your life into a place of balance, because you're all over the place right now. You want to know your truth. You're wondering why. There's a deep knowing and a burden of not knowing at the moment, but it will lead you to your truth eventually. Doing the healing work and understanding what happened to you as a child, the way it happened and what happened and why you act the way you do now in your life will be told, will be revealed. So this is your why, not knowing right now. Doing the work, balancing your feminine, learning to get to know your feminine in the first instance and healing that childhood trauma, understanding why you act the way you do as an adult in the body of a 10-year-old boy is your answer, is the key there. You only act from a 10-year-old's point of view. That is your emotional capability. That is your emotional age. That's why I developed this formula to help you understand why you act the way you do as a child and you react as a child, because we can only react as like to our emotional fulfillment. And you didn't have your needs met as a child, so you're only acting and responding, even as an adult, at a 10-year-old's point of view. So that is your why. Understanding what happened, understanding why it happened, expressing the feelings, accepting it, putting boundaries in place so you can learn how to move on productively, and changing and adapting the way you react and behave is going to answer your why, because you are questioning it, okay? Let's get you some tarot. So they'll come out. Again, call to taking action on your feminine. Yep. It's all about your feminine energy, even if you're masculine. If you're not masculine watching this, you lead with your masculine energy, and your feminine needs action. Queen of Wands here. Queen of Wands is all about action, and it's queen, feminine energy. Empress is also here. Empress encompasses all of the queens in the tarot deck. She is mother energy. She is loving. She is fertile. She is blessings. She is calling you to action on her. Your feminine energy is dying to get out and dying to be present in your life, nurturing. Because I think deep down you are a nurturing, vulnerable person, and you're not acting on this right now. Magician is reversed. You're just pushing it all down deep, deep, deep inside you and not actioning the wounds that were inflicted upon you as a child. That's why your life's crazy and dormant and things are just not going anywhere right now, because you're not understanding the process as to the why. I think you have somewhat of an idea of what to do. Page of Swords is here. The swords represents our mental being. So you do somewhat know what to do. You know pushing it down and avoiding it's the wrong thing to do. Your trauma needs to be acknowledged and start working upon in order to change that, transform it, and make your reality that you're living in, and especially the way you respond to situations within your life, emotionally respond, and to reverse the way you respond and respond more emotionally maturely by digging into your feminine nurturing energy will actually bring you to a place of complete transformation. You'll be able to approach your relationships more pure, more loving. You'll be more open and be able to express and get to a place of vulnerability and beauty within your connections, and not just your romantic connections, every connection you have in your life. Oh, this is so beautiful. I love to get into the root core of the problems. Let's get you some archetypes. See? Success. I'm singing now. I love getting to the root of the problems. The castle, the ocean. Getting in touch with your emotional self, understanding your emotional self, and look at that divine card. Getting your emotional fulfillment and your needs met, transforming your emotional being, building your inner temple, your inner castle, getting in touch with your feminine and letting her out. She is screaming to get out. She couldn't be more present. All right, some more advice for you. So this is the crystal. This is my fairy crystals deck. If you'd like to order them in my decks, link will be below. Also, if you want to do some work with me in my trauma course, feel free to contact me to reach out below or book online. They can be done online as well, courses anywhere around the world. So a crystal that is being suggested for you to work with is aventurine. It blocks stress, prevents energy vampires from taking your energy, and installs leadership. Aventurine installs leadership. You need to take charge of your own life, number one. I don't think that you mess with people so much. Maybe you mess with people to the point of avoidance, for sure. But definitely stress blocker and taking leadership and control of your own being is hugely important to you right now. Let's get you some Lenormand Destiny cards for your further advice. Did you see that pop out just like that? Look at that. Seeing clearly. You will see your present and address your present life and see the future clearly. Start seeing the future clearly, answering your why and answering yourself. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to me? Oh, now I understand why it's happening. I understand what I got to do, and I'm going to transform that so I can emotionally and maturely respond. And remember, it all stems back to your childhood. Not a lot of people know this. A lot of people are uneducated about this. I was uneducated about this for a long time. All right, final advice for you from my inner child deck. That's a lot. Okay. Apologize for not being aware of your pain and needs in the past and of pushing her too hard. Sometimes to try and impress others. There we go. So sometimes your ego does come out to play and you boast, and especially when you have success, which is good. It's always good to celebrate success, but you take it one step too far and you boast and boast and boast to the point of being annoying. So again, becoming emotionally more mature, learning to balance your emotions and being emotionally vulnerable by educating yourself about the trauma that you've experienced and letting your inner feminine out will help you greatly. And take your time to visit with your inner child. Let her know that, or him know that you're okay. You can mother her. You can learn to control your emotions, your pain. You are aware of her pain, and you will start working with her to heal that pain. Have a safe place that you can bring to mind where you and your inner child can meet and play together. This is beautiful, and I love this advice for you. So, arcade game. Go back to that arcade game or that safe place you felt happy as a child and meet your inner child version of yourself there. Play a game. Do things that you enjoyed as a child. Reminisce about the time you enjoyed doing it as a child. Revisit happy moments with your child version of yourself together. Laugh, cry, smile, talk with your inner child like it was your own child, but really do things that connect you to your inner child that you did enjoy, and you can reminisce and remember the fun times that you had together. Regularly ask your inner child how she's feeling and what she wants. Imagine sitting alongside that little girl, putting your arm around her shoulders and gently pulling her close to your heart. Again, talking about getting in touch with your feminine. Sit there. How would you parent your own child? Write the scenario down if you need to. But imagine your own child being born. If you have got children, do you parent them effectively? Or are you quick to judge? Or are you quick to shut them up with? Or are you quick to please them or bribe them? Sit with that emotion. Sit with yourself as an inner child. Reparent yourself. Reprogram yourself. Reassure that little child that you will understand or start understanding the trauma that you faced as a child. And find out ways you can revisit that scenario and reparent the scenario successfully, reassuring them that will be okay, reassuring them that you can change and you will understand it and you can approach it from a more emotionally mature perspective and point of view, okay? Group 3, that was your beautiful reading. I hope it helped you understand your trauma you experienced. I hope you can start working through that trauma and especially start working through your feminine energy and working with your feminine to live a more balanced life. And I hope this helped you to start working on ways you can start healing and become more emotionally mature and respond more emotionally mature, okay? Much love. If you'd like to work with me on this journey, feel free to reach out to me. And if you'd like to buy any of my decks or just have a chat, reach out to me. Details are below. Much love. So this is a tour of my little desk that is going out into my office area because I'm going to start doing in-home consults and tarot readings. They're just some oracle decks. This, interestingly enough, is Hecate's calling poem. That can actually go out and show. They're all oracle decks, they're tarot decks. These are all my personal decks. I've got to get a better storage system for them, my personal published decks. These ones here I always put together for my next picker card because I'm doing, and the next one's about channeling with your inner child. Archangel Michael. This is my altar. Archangel Michael, Hecate. Offerings for Hecate. These are the gemstones, crystals, butterflies, a little tripod for recording. Gaia, my spirit animal, and owl. Beautiful candle and some diffuser. There's some more cards and some charms. So this will be going out into this area I'm about to show you next. So we have the incense bar, which I've got to clean. It's really filthy, but it's alright, it's added protection. Angels, some more crystals, and do what you love. Then we transition into my work area. I love Chanel, as you can tell. Little table for people to do some therapy. I'll give you a big glimpse at it. So I've got my banners up. Excuse the stock in the corner, I've got to put that up on my website. I'm also getting a big divider to go in here to divide up my lounge room and office area and put some stock on as well, so people can buy stock when they come for appointments. All my leaflets, all my cards, just some beautiful scents. My banner with what I do. Also got opportunities for other psychics to join me because I'm going to create a phone hotline. There's information about my energy medicine. And this I'm most excited about. I'm going to put these up tonight. My certification of my NLP practice and energy, holistic and healing certificate. So all certified, all ready to take clients. Just got to do a few more little things and we will be ready for in-home appointments. If you're into all things witchy, spooky, wonderful, come and join me as I get ready to launch my Blonde Psychic website. I have been building it for the last few weeks and I've got a few more little things I've got to add to it, but it will be up and running soon. I have a huge variety of my tarot reads on there. You can actually choose from questions you want to ask as well. And I have listed so many different genres and questions. It's amazing how much you can ask. I also have my personal decks on there, some generic decks, my trauma counselling, and I have a great little incentive with our mental health merchandise. t-shirts and jumpers. Every time you buy one, 100% of the profits will go back into offering free mental health counselling for those in need. I also have my self-help books and the books that I've published. I have crystals, spiritual jewelry I've collaborated on, tarot cards, candles, incense, essential oil, perfume. There is so much that I have put into this website. This is why it's taken me so long to build it, and I still have more to go. If you're interested in becoming an ambassador for me or creating some content, link up with me.